to get that perfect run going.
When does time run out for you? What's the cutoff?
Yeah. Anybody know the cutoff? Perfect. Yoshi, what do you want the cutoff of perfect to be?
I've got a
Final hit on Bowser.
The cutoff for the perfect run donations would be the final hit on the final Bowser fight. $15 from Squawky. Thank you for the $15 donation and an amazing week at AGDQ. Please put this towards Runner's Choice. Shouts to everyone involved, from donators to event organizers to cancer survivors and speedrunners. We've all banded together this week for a probable cause. Anonymous $20 donation. Could I afford it? I'd have given 10 times this, but injuries kept me from work and pay for a month. It would be remiss, however, not to donate to this Herculean effort. Thanks to all the runners and associates who made this event possible, as well as the Prevent Cancer Foundation itself. You are the sorts of people who make the world worth saving. Thank you very much. Another $50 anonymous donation. My mom recently beat stage 4 breast cancer, and I'm sure I donated money, helped fund research that ultimately saved her life. Thank you much for doing this, and thank you all to donate. We have a bit of a Mario block starting up here with Super Mario Galaxy 2 by Yoshifan, followed up by Paper Mario, Super Mario 64, and then Luigi's Mansion. During those first 3 games, so Mario Galaxy 2 to Mario 64, we have a Luma plushie, Mario Brothers cast poster, and Mario pendant set available for donation prizes. And for those just coming in, this is AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick 2014, hosted by SDA Speed Demos Archive, the premier site for high-quality video game speedrun videos, and SRL, Speedruns Live, which is the best site to race video games against others at any skill level. We are raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Currently, we have raised a total of $671,000. Give a list of shout-outs to the Yeti for their usual line of AGDQ t-shirts, available at theyeti.com/SDA, to GameSpot for the cameras they've donated to give us our high-quality stream, to Twitch, where we are streaming the marathon on, and of course to PCF for providing us with all kinds of things and for supporting us very well. Also like to thank Mr. MV for the French restream and EXE_DE for the German restream.
distance is good.
He's trying to find.
He left it here to be used.
I put in my SD card already, so. Alright. That has 242. I'm gonna check the big tool real quick.
Can you guys, can everyone say something?
Yeah, sure.
Hello?
Test. Hello? Hear me?
Hi.
We do a roll call for who's on camera right now.
Yeah, I'm Yoshifan.
I'm I Eat Your Pie. I'm Marche.
Alright. I'm just checking my bank till star bits, so that should be alright. Yeah, one last thing I need. I'm not sure how I look on stream, but I've been practicing in widescreen all this time. I'm fine with it being a standard TV, but widescreen can change things such as the timing of moving platforms, because basically, like a lot of moving objects in the game, they only advance their cycles when they're on screen. So
Super Mario Galaxy.
Alright, we have a $30 donation from anonymous donator. Second donation, I think what you guys are doing here is awesome. My little cousin was taken early from us, and as a sickle cell anemia patient, I've spent a good deal of time in hospitals and clinics, so I've seen firsthand how many people this horrible disease actually affects. Something needs to be done to lower these numbers. I implore everyone to follow Steed and donate. Thank you very much, anonymous donator.
Is the widescreen fine for the stream and stuff? because like you might want to stretch it if you want to make it look optimal.
There's a lock screen option for the. What are computer set up for?
We don't have a little control panel.
Just go to computer setup and I'll pop up. I don't. Okay.
No, the computer setup is showing desktop. No, we can.
There should be a live screen
So
setup
I'm
for
sure.
it.
We just should have just rolled the scenes out of the ass.
Have a $100 anonymous donation in honor of Uber Goose's Graham, Ann Latehead. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Spike's asleep. Spike is definitely asleep.
Other than that, I'm ready whenever.
So this is all that you can see, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing. We're seeing exactly what's on here up there.
It's 493 up there.
It looks like it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, we
I'm
do need to. Do we
fine
need to
with
switch the TV into?
Oh, I'm fine with this, personally.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So it looks weird, but that's why he's playing it on the TV. So it's not right. It's not here.
Okay. So on your mark, Yoshi.
All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. So this game starts out with like maybe about a 3-minute intro. There's not too much going on, but there's a couple of neat tricks. That long jump over the pipe is a little bit precise, but so if you jump off that slope like the first 2 or 3 frames that you land on it, then you get a pretty nice boost like that. Slopes work quite differently between Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2. Galaxy 1 actually allows you to climb up slopes infinitely by repeatedly spinning on them, whereas Galaxy 2 doesn't allow you as much freedom, but you can get some pretty nice jumps off of slopes. So you'll be seeing a few more levels of slopes later. Yeah, so this category is any percent, also known as a 71 star. And so basically you have to get 70 stars to unlock the final level. And unlike Mario 64, it's not just like a door that you're skipping, but it's just an in-game trigger that on the world map that is unlocked when you get 70 stars. So as far as we know, there's no conceivable way to skip that trigger. And basically, so you unlock that final Bowser level, and then from the final Bowser level, you also get 1 star. So you end up with 71 stars at the end. Yeah, so from that intro, I didn't actually get a star, but this is the first level with a star in it. Oh, that's fine. So you notice that wall jumps are pretty powerful in this game because you have the spin. So basically you can follow a wall jump with a spin to reverse your momentum, and that allows you to climb up a single wall. Alright, this part is a bit tricky. Okay. So you can also take a different route through that planet and then ride a platform to the comet medal, which is probably 1 or 2 seconds slower than what I just did. If you do my strategy like perfectly, then you could save like 4 seconds, but that typically doesn't happen. Alright. This first boss can actually be a bit tricky to do well. I should have slowed him down to start it, but that's fine. Okay, the second part went well. So something not too many people might know is that you can ground pound Pee-wee Piranha to break his shell instantly. Normally you need to spin his shell like 2 or 3 times. I mean, that's what most people figure to do. But the ground pound works, and it's like almost certainly intended.
One of the nice things about SMG2 also is at the end of each level, it gives you the individual time. So if you're looking to practice it on an individual level basis, it's really great with the in-game timer.
Yeah, I got 2 minutes, 1 second for that level, which is pretty good.
Received a $50 donation from Timu. Thank you for supporting this important matter. I have been following the event this week and have seen some great runs like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. My family has a history with cancer and I have a high risk of getting it, so here's my contribution to this event. Thank you very much.
So there aren't too many cutscenes like this in the game. This is one of them though. So. This game does have a somewhat long downtime between each star, like probably around 1 minute between stars, but the levels are also longer, so it's kind of like you have somewhat long stretches of downtime, but you also have somewhat long levels compared to Mario 64 and possibly Sunshine.
We do have a donation incentive challenge for this game for Yoshifan to run Star 242, which is the perfect run. We are currently at $88,600 out of the $15,000 goal. You can keep putting your money towards that until the final hit on the final Bowser fight.
Alright. That chomp can be a bit tricky sometimes. If you miss him once, then you have to start improvising a bit. You can sometimes avoid that extra life with a particular kind of wall jump, but it's very likely that I get another extra life later in the run anyway, so skipping that dialogue isn't really a thing you would expect to do. The dialogue that says you got an extra life is what I'm talking about.
So there's actually a fairly subtle time saver that Yoshifan does every time he lands from a launch star. It's called a landing cancel, and there are two ways to do it. The most reliable way is to go into first person as soon as you land from the launch star, and then cancel it out with the A button. This isn't always possible though. At the start of galaxies and just some launch stars where you land in a place you don't have control over the camera. And in these situations, the only way he can do it is by jumping on the frame that he lands, which he usually will go for, but it's not always reliable. So sometimes he'll get those and sometimes he won't.
Yeah, this isn't really a game about like frame perfect tricks, but the landing castle with a jump is one of them. Sometimes the timing for a jump landing cancel varies a little bit as well, which also makes it tricky.
$20 anonymous donation. Hey Yoshi, just want to say what a great cause this is and wish you a great run. SMG2 is the best.
Thank you. But yeah, jump landing cancels are always frame perfect, but the frame that you need to press A on varies, like relative to the moment that you actually land. So you can't always say that it's like 2 frames before you see the landing dust, although that is a common timing, but sometimes it's like 1 frame or 3 frames instead. All right. So this level can be kind of tricky, and we'll see why shortly. All right, so we got Yoshi here. And there is a trick to flutter repeatedly with Yoshi. Kind of looks like this. All right, this is actually one of the more difficult tricks in the game. There we go.
Nice.
All right. All right. So as you might notice, due to the fact that I speedrun this game, I'm not the most faithful of Yoshi fans. Just a disclaimer there. If it's any consolation, if you drop Yoshi into a pit, Yoshi actually warps back to safety with some kind of egg teleport or something. So Yoshi doesn't actually fall down all the way. It's not an excuse, it's just like, just so you know. Okay, so that went pretty smoothly. The last planet can also be a little bit tricky. Something that people used to do on that last planet was climb it without Yoshi, which it does look pretty impressive, but it's actually 4 seconds slower than climbing it with Yoshi. So that's a pretty good time. All right, so the way that the Yoshi flutter works, normally after you flutter, you have like after your flutter ends, you have like a 1 second-ish cooldown before you can start another flutter. And that prevents you from like maintaining your height, or especially like it prevents you from gaining height. But with Yoshi, you could crouch in midair, and that actually cancels your flutter animation as well as the flutter cooldown. So if you crouch cancel before the flutter ends, then you can immediately start another flutter. So that's what's going on there. And that allows you to flutter very rapidly and maintain or gain height. You can also do a spin to accelerate a bit better initially. That one isn't too bad, although the angle can be kind of weird for beginners. But this is one of the most important flutters that I just did because cuts off a ton of the level. Like, it's probably close to a minute. Very important trick here. Actually, this trick is, as far as I know, completely useless, but yeah, Yoshi can slide around like that. Alright, that was
Nice.
fine. So this little trick on the boss allows me to get the third hit more quickly. Basically just make sure you get both of the spinies there. Spit one and then grab the other spiny before the second hit connects. Because it disappears as soon as the second hit connects.
$5 donation from Boom Bassa Boom. Best GDQ to date. Never have I laughed, cried, and gasped as much as I have during this marathon. Put this paltry donation towards the perfect run. Every little bit helps.
So here you'll be seeing the first of Mario's power-ups. This level features the spin drill. So we go up here.
So that triple jump right there skipped him going around to the other side of the planet and drilling through the planet to get around to that Luma.
Alright, so that move I just did there is... Oh well, I got on top of the pillar.
Nice.
So the first move I did there was a spin stomp, basically. So basically you spin and then press Z shortly after, and then you do a ground pound, which starts with a spin animation, and that lets you home into objects such as a spin drill power-up itself. And when you hit an object like that, you actually get a boost. You just have to wait for this guy. Okay, so here. Alright, so it's just skipped his dialogue there by going into first person so he couldn't talk to me right away. And then I shot him with a star bit to stun him. That saves like a couple seconds. It does save like your level. It does save seconds on level time as well, if that's what you're asking. Alright, so okay, well he jumped away from me, which is not good luck. So basically the direction that he jumps in is random. And you want it to jump toward you, because if you get under him, then like that, then he jumps up right away, which saves a little bit of time. It's fine.
$20 anonymous donation. Hello people, sending you greetings from Germany. Watching AGDQ since the first marathon. Thanks for completely destroying my daily schedule twice a year with your cool runs. Thank you very much for the donation.
Yeah, so at the end I forgot to toss away all my star bits. The reason I want to do that is because of this dialogue right here, which, like every time it appears, it costs like a second, you know. But if I don't if I finish with no star bits, then that dialogue that says you got some star bits doesn't appear. Now, the reason that I don't need to get star bits in the levels is because I'm going to use the bank toad for all my star bit needs. The bank toad isn't unlocked until like 7 stars, I believe. But basically, with the bank toad, you can deposit star bits in one file and then withdraw them in another file. So what I'm doing here is kind of a new game plus in SDA terms. So I'm using a different file to deposit star bits, and then in this file, I'm going to withdraw those same star bits. And I'm going to use those star bits to unlock Hungry Luma galaxies. So this is always a fun level. Good use of backward momentum in a lot of places here. There's a bunch of ways to get through that section. That's just one of them. Alright. Spark can be a bit tricky sometimes. You can get squashed and killed instantly by those blocks if they fall on you. But that strategy works out pretty well. It's also not like totally optimal, but that's the safest way that I've learned how to do it, basically. All right. A star grab can be a bit weird because you have to like fall into the 2D section from 3D, and first of all, it takes a variable amount of time for whatever reason, and okay, that's a very good time for me. And second of all, like you don't always fall the same amount into that 2D section, so you might just fall down without grabbing the star, and then you have to try something like wall jump up or just go another cycle around that end section. Oh, okay. So if you're going for a secret star, or I think it's called a hidden star in this game, then you can skip the intro cutscenes because you've already seen them. Basically, this is like the same star scenario as the first star, so it's the same cutscenes. But on most stars in this game, you have to watch the opening cutscenes.
$10 donation from Thomas Clint. Hi guys, this is for getting the 1 star I never had the patience to get. Good luck.
Nice. That was fun. You can get like 14 in that one if you're literally perfect with it. That's not something I would expect to do. 13 is more reasonable though. I got 12 remaining for those of you who didn't see.
Yeah, one thing that makes those box puzzles or challenges a little bit tricky, which Yoshifan explained to me earlier this week, is actually that your fireballs don't come from Mario's center. They actually come from Mario's right hand. So if you try to line it up based on like just where your center is, it's pretty easy to miss a few of the shots.
Speaking of that perfect run, we are at $9,072 for that, out of a $15,000 goal, so about $6,000 more before the final hit on the final Bowser battle to get that.
Nice. If anyone doesn't know what the perfect run is, it's basically a really long level that basically has 6 or 7 very challenging sections using some of the harder to control mechanics in the game. And the whole time, you can only take 1 hit the entire way. There are no checkpoints throughout the entire level. It basically requires Yoshifan to play about as close to perfect as this game can demand for a good 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, when I was practicing the perfect run, it was taking about 3.5 minutes. So. I don't plan to do the perfect run like totally optimally for the record. My main goal would be to survive, but I try not to make it too slow as well. Alright, so you need 100 coins to feed this guy. And he takes you to a hidden star. Even though you have to give him all those coins, but the star is still relatively short. All right. Oops, that's fine. Whoa, okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, basically I'm pressing Z and spinning a lot in rapid succession, so it's sometimes easy to accidentally ground pound like that. So basically what I was doing there, you can crouch to cancel your cloud making animation. And so you do that like right after your spin ideally, so that you can start your next move right away, which in most cases is a backflip. It takes some getting used to get like the rhythm down.
Right, $25 donation from Triforce. Love watching these expert platforming skills here. It's given me a lot of respect for the Mario Galaxy control mechanics. I wish I had time to watch the whole thing, but good luck to you on this run and everyone else on their runs. You've done good, AGDQ. $22 donation from Suyo. Greetings from Germany. I should be productive, but these runs are too entertaining. Shout out to the competitive Team Fortress 2 community.
Alright. I didn't actually need that spin, because that's a pretty good distance. Yeah, so one reason why that huge shortcut works, for whatever reason, oops. Oh,
Oh,
no.
okay, that's relatively bad actually. But, yeah. Alright, so one reason why that huge shortcut works, basically, when you jump off of a cloud, and you are above a bottomless pit, then your jump has a lot more speed than usual for whatever reason. So normally you wouldn't be able to jump that far with a long jump. Of course, the other thing is that when you have the cloud power up, you're just more floaty. Okay, there we go.
So one trick he actually showed off there was if you make a cloud while you're on the ground and you cancel that animation out, you actually keep enough momentum to do a long jump immediately, and you can actually get a large amount of height off of that long jump because you actually get a boost from the cloud that you just made. So he used that to get more height than he could have from even like a backflip. and that helped him climb up to that tree very quickly.
$30 donation from Christopher Wall. MLSTRM here. This is the first marathon I've caught live and it's been amazing. I've lost a family member due to cancer recently and several other people I know are currently fighting it, so this cause hits close to home. Good luck on the run, Yoshifan. Hopefully that World 6 practice will pay off. Goes to Runner's Choice. And, alright.
Thank you, Maelstrom. Yeah, so Maelstrom actually runs Mario Galaxy 1. There's actually been a decent amount of interest in Galaxy 1 lately, which hasn't happened until recently, so it's pretty cool. No, actually, so first of all, you can only switch to Luigi like freely after you beat the final Bowser level, which is the goal of this run. So the only way I can get Luigi in a level is to see him at the beginning of a level, talk to him to switch to him, and then he also talks to you after a level is complete, which wastes around 20 seconds each time you switch to Luigi, and that only allows you to switch to Luigi for one level. So that ends up not being worth it in any of the levels in this route. Alright, so there's a few different strategies for this guy. Most of the fast ones involve hitting weak spots when he's in the air like that. Oh, just that's fine. So I also hit one weak spot when this phase starts. And so I'm gonna lead him in one direction, and that basically makes him snake closely around the planet so that I can reach those weak spots more easily. That second part is particularly important to get right, otherwise you lose a fair bit of time. Alright, so that was a pretty good World 1 other than that one fluffy bluff death, but I'll take it because I didn't die on the Yoshi flutter. Basically, especially with Yoshi's Star, this game doesn't exactly start off easy with the run. It gets going pretty quickly.
$50 donation from NiffyGirl1200. So glad that the charity stream has gotten so much support this year and glad to be helping out. $5 from Jordan Davidson. My 2-year anniversary with my girlfriend is coming up and I want to dedicate this money to her. Also, come on guys, let's get this 242 perfect star run met. Congratulations, you two. $10 from Johnny Dehan. Hey guys, keep up the great work for a great cause. SMG2 rocks. Greetings from London. $50 from Greg R. The total amount raised is so astonishing. I've really been looking forward to Yoshifan's Galaxy 2 run. It's been extremely solid so far. Let's prevent cancer. And a question for Yoshifan. For running, do you prefer Galaxy 1 or Galaxy 2?
Actually, I've run both Galaxy 1 and 2 quite a bit, and it's quite hard for me to pick a favorite because there's a lot of things I like about both. Like, maybe it's because I ran Galaxy 1 first, but I'm quite fond of a lot of the levels in there. At the same time, there are a lot of neat mechanics in Galaxy 2 that I like. Alright, that's very good. So I don't often get up there without a wall jump, but I just did. So that saves a bit.
$5 from Tiger Lily Snape. Awesome job for an awesome cause. Can't wait to hear I Ate Your Pie, and now we'll talk about Paper Mario. That'll be coming up next. I'm going for that Luma plushie to make my life complete. $20 from David Long. I really don't have the money for this, but I gotta throw it in there anyway.
Oh, nice.
Keep it up, guys.
Alright, so that was a double ground pound, which happens sometimes on this planet because the gravity is really weird here.
Yeah, basically on this little planet, like all the gravity from all the puzzles kind of affects you individually. So before you solve it, the gravity can do a lot of weird things. Like you saw during one of the ground pounds, he jumped straight up and ground pounded, and he ended up actually hitting the wrong surface somehow. So we're not entirely sure what causes the double ground pound, but it seems to be the same kind of thing.
Yeah. It might be a good time to mention some of the other runners who run this game. So the record holder is Nemi, who's been working on this game for a very long time. He started off working on individual levels, and after that he practiced for many months. And even though he had relatively little competition, he set a very, very solid record on this game about 2 years ago, I think. So his record of 3 hours, 11 minutes stands to this day. So he's also come up with a lot of strategies for this run, basically, and so most of my strategies are like 90% based off of his. Like, in turn, he also got a lot of strategies from other individual level runners. Basically, the competition for this game started out as individual levels. Some of the more prominent level runners include Nemi, Pack Attack, and there's also a lot of people who found various tricks in this game, such as Logitech SDAZ and Paraxade as well. Paraxade found a lot of very interesting tricks, like very shortly after the game came out. I'll point out at least one of those later.
Nice.
So yeah, that works because when Yoshi is running with the dash pepper on a slope, like on an upward slope, then if you dismount at that time, then you get a huge boost. It's somewhat similar to Sonic the Hedgehog physics, where if you jump off a steep upward slope, you go really high.
$10 from Angelique. Greetings from Germany. I love you, Mario. And a $5 anonymous donation. Greetings. This is awesome. Hopefully we can meet the Galaxy 2 242 star bid. Can't donate more, sorry. Every little bit is appreciated.
All right, so in this particular star, I'm gonna collect 15 coins and feed the hungry Luma. So there is a trick with these enemies here that you might not know. They can, get this coin. Basically, you can get coins from those guys only if you shoot them with a star bit first, and then defeat them. Whoa, where'd that guy? Where'd that guy's shell go? Alright, that's fine. So basically, swimming with spins and swimming with a shell are pretty much equally fast. Although you have to do a bit more exercise if you have to swim with spins. It's also a bit trickier to steer. So I would have preferred a shell here, but since I got those coins, it's all good. Yeah, that's another way to do it. It's like, I think optimally it's about equally fast. Yeah, getting a shell or not getting a shell, at the beginning I found is roughly the same. Alright, so what I'm doing here is, I got the coins, but I'm not going to the Hungry Luma Star just yet. Also, this depth perception can be a bit weird. All right. Whoa, I'm lost in right here. All right, that should be good. All right, so the reasoning behind that route is the switch to freeze the lake is basically it's not far from the Comet Meadow, and then the Comet Meadow is not far from a bunch of coins, so you might as well get those underwater coins on the same trip that you get the ice switch, and the ice switch means that you might as well get the star I just got. So the result is that if you feed the coins to the Hungry Luma and get the frozen waterfall star, as opposed to like doing the obvious way, which is getting the coins and then going to the Star Bunny star, it saves a few seconds. So now we just need to get to that Hungry Luma launch star again. Possibly taking a couple of star bits. We can just see why later.
$100 donation from Ronan. Waited until the end because I don't know why, but donating money to a great cause in exchange for great entertainment is a total no-brainer. Love the runs, love the commentary, and love the parts of the marathon I've been able to watch. Thanks for all of this. $10 from Varial. First time watching AGDQ, it's been awesome. Great cause and great runs, keep going. Greetings from Holland.
All right. So. Oops. All right. In this case.
Let's kill him.
Okay, so what I was trying to do there is shoot the bunny with a star pit, which allows me to catch him without freezing the water. Fortunately, there aren't many Star Bunny stars in this run. There's a few more in Galaxy 1, and generally they are all a pain to do. Alright, so the reason I'm doing Boulder Bowl now, I could have done it earlier, but basically this stage unlocks the rock mushroom in the Starship Mario's engine room. And then so after you complete this level, you get sent down to the engine room. But when I have 15 stars, I unlock something else, which is a letter from the mail toad. So if I overlap those events, oops. Right. When I overlap those events, I get sent into the engine room, and then I get sent back out to talk to the mail toad, so I don't have to traverse out of the engine room. So it saves roughly 8 seconds, as far as I remember. Alright, this jump can be kind of tricky. Oh, okay, that was a bad angle, I think. I should have stuck to the original camera there. I was like shuffling around trying to change it.
So what he's trying to do with this trick, basically, you're only supposed to be able to get a small jump while rolling with this power-up. But for some reason, if you spin shortly after jumping, you can actually get a boosted jump. And that boost is enough for him to jump from here to one of the planets that you get to later on in the level.
There we go.
Nice.
You can do another much more precise one to skip that purple crystal, but I've only gotten it a few times. But yeah, the jump that I did get saves a lot of time, because normally you have to get to this planet where you have to defeat like 15 to 20 Octumba enemies, which takes pretty much forever. I'm not sure about that. It probably broke roughly even, if I had to guess. Alright, so getting behind this guy allows you to skip triggering his rolling attack. But it can be kind of tricky to do. Basically because he's trying to chase you while you're trying to chase him. So it can be kind of like a confusing dynamic. At least I got the last hit. You can jump to extend the end of your roll to catch him a bit more easily, which is what I did there. But you have to be lined up for that to work.
Yeah, there are a couple of ways that you can do that fight that make it a little easier to get him in one roll each time, but you have to run longer before starting your roll anyways, so it doesn't really save time to do it those ways.
A $30 donation from EU. When you're speedrunning Mario Galaxy, you gotta plan it. Putting this money towards seeing my most hated star just taken apart. And $50 from Me Gots This. This is for completing that star I never got. Thanks AGDQ to waking me up for Super Mario Galaxy 2. Maybe one day I'll get that 242nd star after getting all the previous 241.
Alright, so here's where I get star bits from that are deposited from other files. So for the Hungry Luma stars, I'm gonna need about that much. I'm actually getting about 5,000 star bits for all the Hungry Lumas, but there's 150 star bits that at least that come for free, because when you complete certain stars, you get letters from a mysterious person that each contain 50 star bits, and there should be 3 of them in this run.
$50 from anonymous donator. The perfect run sounds interesting. Half my donation goes to Pie's choice on what to do with Wacka. I believe Pie decided to kill Wacka. $50 from Nemi. Woke up extra early to catch Yoshifan's run. Wishing him good luck on the run and donating towards the perfect run challenge.
Thank you, Nemi.
Another 50 from Rage Quit. A bow to Yoshifan's Mario skills from Finland. Let's see that perfect run.
Alright, so I think well, probably right side down would No, actually, that's slightly 3D as well. There's got to be some other room that's completely 2D. Upside Dizzy in World 5 is one of them. There's a few. Okay, yeah, so 16 seconds, you can see why I did that start. Basically, so a lot of the routing work in this game just consists of testing a ton of stars, seeing what ends up faster. But you also have to consider the events that happen after each star. Well, such as new characters appearing on the starship. That's one thing you need to consider, and especially new power-ups that appear in the engine room. They'll send you down to the engine room so that you have to get back up. And there's other stars that trigger mail-toad letters. And later on, you also see comets, which complicate things even more because you have to think about which levels to get comet medals in and how many comet medals you need and so on. But we can explain that once comet starts appearing.
For those just tuning in, you're watching Awesome Games Done Quick 2014, currently playing Super Mario Galaxy 2 by Yoshifan. We're raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, the only U.S. nonprofit organization solely devoted to cancer protection and early devotion. We'll have a research grant for prostate cancer named in our honor. We, being Speed Demos Archive, the premier site for high-quality speedrunning videos, and Speedruns Live, the best site for racing games of any skill level.
Wow.
So yeah, health management in this level is key because there's quite a few lava boosting tricks. Alright, so there are definitely faster ways to get this comet medal, but it's a little bit slow there, so I had to wait for the womp to get out of the way and stuff.
So, when you get hit by lava, you become invisible to everything that isn't lava? Because I noticed you went through the lane.
I believe so, yeah. Well, except for getting crushed by stuff like the womp, but yeah. Alright. So we got that. So that's the reason I need the life mushroom that I got at the beginning. Because that trick requires at least 4 health. And it's about 3 seconds better than the alternative, which only requires 3 health. Alright, so the Bowser fights aren't quite as interesting as the ones in Galaxy 1, but there's still a little bit to explain.
$25 from Geminius. Another $25 from me for the perfect run. Let's make it happen. Also, I really want that plushie. $5.28 from Kradoom. I wish I could have donated more for this great cause, but this is all the money I have left on my PayPal for the Steam Winter Sale. I want to thank all the runners and great people who made AGDQ 2014 possible. I love you all. $10 from Corey Cubed. Awesome stream this year as always. Wife and I love Mario Galaxy, so I had to get a donation in for the Luma plushie of the 242 run. More coming later from Wind Waker HD. Good luck on the urn. Yoshifan, gotta go fast.
Alright, so this Fire Breath attack, the only thing is that you want to pay attention to where it ends because that's where he'll start aiming his next punch. And if you're standing where he's beginning to aim his punch, then he'll punch immediately. It's a bit more important in this fight than the others because Bowser's aiming AI is a little bit wonky in this fight. Like, he won't really go directly toward you for whatever reason. Alright. But the most important thing is to just not miss the meteors, because if you miss one, then you lose quite a bit of time. Because he has to do like another cycle of attacks. So this is the first Bowser level out of 3. Although this isn't quite 1/3 into the run because we only have 17 stars, I believe.
An update on the Perfect Run donation incentive. We are currently at $9,967 out of $15,000. So almost to that $10,000 mark, a little bit over $5,000 left to go on that, and we've got until the final hit on the final Bowser battle. A $20 anonymous donation. I've had a lot of fun watching AGDQ this week. I'm a big fan of Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 and learning a lot watching Yoshifan's run. Thank you everyone at AGDQ and SDA for your hard work this week. And $20 from Krellian. Just checking in on the AM shift this weekend. Hope everyone's well. Great job, guys. Let's keep it up. Let's get that star 242.
Alright, so you'll be seeing a lot more cloud boosting action in this stage. It can be tricky to get right, but it looks pretty good when it is done well. For this second cloud flower right here. So the idea there is to use your first cloud before you. Okay, who didn't see that coming? All right. So the idea is to use your first cloud before you touch this cloud flower. So essentially I get 4 clouds because I just got refilled after using the first one. This music is perfectly accurate. Alright, so if you're wondering, so it just got the music from the Silver Stars over the Poison Pond area for whatever reason, even though I didn't get particularly close to that area. I might want to restart that.
$10 from Kai K. You guys rock. Keep up the good work for this great cause and good luck for the perfect run, Yoshifan. Greetings from Spain.
Pretty sure it's not me. Alright, so you can actually get through these crushers even after getting the Column Medal in the early cycle. But you have to position your clouds pretty well to do that.
$30 from Javeman. Greetings from Chile. Good luck on Super Mario Galaxy 2, one of the best games ever. Hope you can do a perfect 242 star run. $50 from Unforgiven 215. Love the Super Mario Galaxy 2 run so far. Wanted to donate to support this great cause. I lost my grandfather recently, so I know the pain of losing someone close to you. $100 from Saturn. Great cause, great event, great people. I wish I had time to watch more of the runs. Special shout out to the nice folks in the QuakeNet IRC channel.
Morning, sunshine.
Morning.
You got the one with no clip. That's what you get for being late, Spike.
I just hold that.
Alright. So for whatever reason, if you throw a fireball from around there, hitting the Goomba statue on that first fireball is surprisingly consistent. Like, it's not perfectly consistent, but for what it is, it works pretty well. Okay, so there's no way to speed this game up. Just get the requisite number of points.
What's your highest?
I think it's like 760. Shoutouts to Pack Attack, who has like 1,090 points on this. You gotta watch the video to believe it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so there's a handful of different kinds of patterns you can get from this. You'll see Yoshifan's kind of trying to stay on the outside. Just because the worst thing that can happen here is that you get hit by one of them, and the animation for Mario falling down takes a while. And since you can't speed it up, it's not worth obviously risking that.
All right, I'll bring Spike up to date for the donations.
Okay.
All right, we just passed $676,000 total
Nice.
raised. And as for that perfect star run, we're at $10,974 out of
Nice.
$15,000.
How's the walker race going?
The Walker race. Find that. Right now, Kill Waka is ahead by about $1,000. So we're gonna be greedy here.
So for this star, Yoshifan's going to try to get all the way to the Comet Medal in the next area with just this Fire Flower. It'll save him a little bit of time having to run around and get another Fire Flower because Yoshi's pretty crazy. If he doesn't get it, he does have a backup strat that's equally as hard, but we'll see what happens. Okay,
Very nice.
so we got it. Nice.
Spike, what's your donations to
Coffee for me. All right. Let's put it towards 242.
Right, we have a $20 donation from Bernie J. Thanks to all the runners for making this week a lot less boring. Here's $20 for PCF and Killing Wacko. I lost a lot of family members to cancer last year and hope we can cure this horrible disease in the near future. P.S. Hey, Pie, would you like to double your coins?
So yeah, had Yoshifan's Fire Flower ran out before he got to blowing up the wall in front of the Comet Medal, he could have still gone around and grabbed that Fire Flower and then blown up that wall and get all the way to Bowser to blow up the statue to get the star, but the window would have been very tight.
It also would have been like 3 seconds slower, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I have a $616 donation from Anonymous. Put this towards 242 stars. Just can't get enough SMG2. And also a $1,000 Anonymous donation.
Wow.
In honor of all the SDA volunteers who give their time, talents, and skills to save lives through cancer prevention and early detection.
there's not a lot you can do about these first couple of sets of paths because they are on a timer, basically. But the couple of paths after this, actually, they come out when you get close enough, for whatever reason. I suppose because they're so long, and so like this one, for instance. I guess because you just at the start of the path come out for a bit, and then the path goes on for a little while.
Something else to note about levels like this is that with the introduction scene in every level, that affects the rotation of these paths. So doing this level on an IL is going to be a little bit different than doing it on an actual playthrough of the game. Very nice.
Yeah. There's a lot of safeties you can take on that Yoshi flutter. You'll see a lot of people will land on the ceiling there that he passed over. A lot of people can use the flower that you're intended to use anyways to kind of flip up to it. But Yoshifan don't need none of that stuff.
Sometimes I do, but that worked out pretty well. All right, so here is the first comet, and I believe comets start appearing once you've collected 4 stars in World 3. So comets have a few requirements for appearing. One of them is that you have to get the comet medal from that galaxy, and you also have to have a certain number of comet medals total. So if I'm ever collecting a comet medal from a galaxy that doesn't even have a comet, then it's to satisfy a number of comet medals requirement for some other level. So the highest comet medal requirement I'm gonna get is 32 comet medals. I believe that's the Bowser's Gravity Gauntlet comet. So I end up getting almost all the comet medals I come across.
I'd like to give some shout outs to PCF for being very supportive of us and donating food to us as well. GameSpot for donating the cameras that we're using to show everybody what we're doing on the couch there. Our other language restreamers, Mr. MV for the French restream, and now the German restream located at Akai Key Streams on Twitch TV.
Again, I'm sure they've already explained it to you guys before, but you can see Yoshifan was blowing away all the star bits. That was to avoid the text box showing him he was collecting them, since obviously this is a New Game Plus or Bank Toad run, so he does not need those.
I have a $20 donation from Meeks. I've been loving the stream, and what you guys are doing is amazing. Both the donations to Cancer Foundation and the fantastic speedruns. Keep up the great work.
Oh, there's something minor. I never explained about those star select screens, but when there is a clear star on the star select screen, which is basically like the first star you haven't gotten yet, you can select it by just pointing your pointer away from the screen and pressing A, which is easier than trying to point at something.
So the intended way of this level is you're supposed to use Yoshi and eat the blue fruit, which is allowing you to float up. But you're able to use Mario and the wall jump ability as well as the spins to climb up the tree.
Yeah, it doesn't save any more than like 3 or 4 seconds if you do it perfect, but it does look pretty neat. All right. That column metal grab that I did there is also kind of tricky.
$20 donation from Saucy Video Game God. I want that perfect run. Somebody call Notch. Might not have to call Notch as we're at 11,358 out of the 15,000 required. And we still got a ways to go with this run as we're taking donations for that until the final hit on the final Bowser battle.
Yeah, so you saw there he actually ditched Yoshi. It was to make a couple things faster. It was obviously faster to get up to that launch star. And it also allowed him to ground pound through that next area. And since he ditched Yoshi on the last world, he was able to already have him spawned once he got down there.
That was a very good tall trunk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely one of the trickier stars when you start running this game.
But also one of the coolest as
But
well.
one of the coolest, yeah.
That's probably a personal best on that stage.
Wow, nice.
Nice.
So you can see he's just kind of letting all the prankster comets build up in the earlier worlds, and then he's going to obviously cover those kind of in one trip later.
Yeah, we're actually taking 2 trips to the earlier worlds for comets. The second trip is because a couple of the comets, well, one of the comets and one hidden star aren't unlocked until much later.
A $50 donation from Dean and Jack. We look forward to this event every year. Pretty great to see so many gamers and friends pulling together for such a good cause. The only things better than these games are the people making all this possible. Keep up the good work. $50 donation from Loveless62. Go, go, go. $50 from Chappie72. My friend Ben Z died a year ago. Although video games are not his passion, he would have been very interested by all your great commentary. Keep up the good work, Tech Crew for life. And $50 from Kyle Kaja. A huge thank you to all the runners at AGDQ. It's been a great marathon, and I can't wait for the finale. Good luck to Yoshifan on the perfect run.
So this level is just 1 billion long jumps, basically.
Yeah.
And those carpet eaters are also on the set path as well. That's why Yoshifan was able to go on the side and long jump along the way without taking any risks.
Alright, so after this we're getting the first star in the Beat Block Galaxy right here. And then we're off to World 1 and 2 again to get some comet stars. Again, I got all these star bits from the Bank Toad.
Nice. Did you guys explain moving around in the lunar base?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, you can move around in the Luma feeding cutscene, and so in that time I set up a backflip, so that after the cutscene ends, I can just land on the button.
You actually cut it relatively close, because you can actually move far enough to well away with the backflip to where you're not feeding the Hungry Luma anymore.
Yeah, I think it might be just this particular Hungry Luma where the last star bit always comes out a bit late. I'm not sure why that is, but it always happens.
It makes it to where all of them have a little bit different timings. You can't really just say, okay, when there's 15 left, that's when you do it. Wow.
I wasn't sure about that one. But yeah, it's basically just like, I think the outside walls are the only things that are solid on these blocks.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a bit.
Once you collect all 5 silver stars, the blocks get locked into place, whatever they happen to be at that time. So he has to kind of plan the end of grabbing the 5th silver star, what he wants to do there.
And sometimes it can glitch out as well to where it looks like it's locked in on the other one, but it actually isn't. You can fall through.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard that can happen. It hasn't actually happened to me. Now that I said that.
Where there's no solid ground to stand on? Or?
Or just the pattern changes.
$10 donation from Locke. One more donation to say thank you for an awesome week of entertainment and an awesome amount of good you have all done. Also do a little part in helping see that 242-star perfect run pulled off. Shout out to the Steam Goons.
Hey, a speed run.
Yeah. So this level is basically a shortened version of the regular level, except that you got 20 seconds at the start, but you can collect the green clocks scattered through the level to get 10 seconds from each, like that.
There's a slight routing change here because he doesn't have to get the comet medal anymore. He can just go straight to the boss as well.
Nice.
That first hit is harder to get fast than the second actually.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the first hit's harder than the second.
Like basically, you can stomp him without too much trouble, but for whatever reason, on the first hit, he runs away a bit more easily. I think it's because on the second hit, he tends to like jump in the air before actually starting to run away, and that buys you a bit more time.
We have a $150 donation from Level 99. Greetings, SDA from Overclocked Remix. Been watching throughout the week, and this is the most impressive marathon yet. I've lost family members to cancer, and my wife, who's given some repurlers from the giveaways, is at risk for it since her mother had breast cancer twice. This cause affects so many people, and I really am happy you do these marathons to support them. Put this towards a perfect galaxy run. I want to see that final star. Eat it. Thank you very much for your donation.
All right, so here you'll be seeing the first rainbow star. So when you're in Rainbow Mario form, if you run at full speed for a little bit, then you accelerate to this state where Mario's arms are outstretched to his sides. And in this state, he's going twice as fast as normal. So it's important to keep this speed while not running into any walls. Get it?
Yeah, it's very easy to lose your momentum in this form. I'm actually not sure. At least in this star, there's not.
Have a $15 donation from Schmitty. Let's see that perfect run. Great job to everyone involved in this wonderful event. Here's to the most successful AGDQ so far. I'll get an update on how that perfect run's going. We are at $12,035 out of the $15,000 required.
Nice.
We're inching there. $50 anonymous donation. Comment is, whoa. That's a good way to describe this run, I believe. $50 from Limit Break. Been watching all week. It has been fantastic. This is such a great event. Thanks for all the great games and commentary.
So yeah, 46 there was really good. Yoshifan really never lost stride, or never broke stride. This is one of the Hungry Lumas that is would even be in the regular new game run. Obviously, it's only 300 star bits.
It's also very fast as well.
It's a very fast star. Even done normally, the star is really fast. But Yoshifan's also going to be using a technique. I don't know, is there really a term for this technique?
I've heard a couple of them. Like, my preferred one is catapulting.
Catapulting?
Oops.
Switch long jump? I mean, yeah.
That could work.
Essentially what he's going to be doing is taking, really combining the, I guess, length or power of a long jump with the flipping of the switch, the momentum from that, and you can get some pretty crazy looking stuff when done right.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes.
The switch slip.
Yeah, so we've seen a little bit of this with the cloud long jumps earlier. This is basically going to be a this is going to be a much more exaggerated version of that.
Woo!
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa! Yeah, he has to time it. Oh! Sorry, we get to see it again.
This happens sometimes, but, you know, it's a little bit, it's just one of those things you have to be in the groove for.
Yay. Whee!
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I could have recovered from that. Because when you hit a laser, you start going backwards, which is pretty bad. So it's safer to land at an earlier spot. I want to get at least 2 of these. There you go.
There you go. Nice.
Just wait for it. Yeah, he goes a little bit further.
Yeah, so one thing that makes this game a little bit less forgiving than the first Super Mario Galaxy game is that it's actually the checkpoint system that makes it less forgiving. Basically, the only way you get a checkpoint in this game is by actually hitting one, which means that when Yoshifan skips so much of the levels, he usually skips all the checkpoints as well. In Super Mario Galaxy 1, usually you would respawn in an area based on where you actually died. So it's so here when he dies, he doesn't save any of the progress that he's made on the level, and he just has to go right back to the start most of the time.
There's actually a few different ways to get from the bottom of the starship back up to here.
Yeah, see, it looks like you just kind of switch off for each of them.
Right, we have a $100 donation from Tompa.
Hey, Tompa.
Tompa here from the Save the Famed Foundation. My grandma died a month ago with cancer. While it wasn't the cause of her death, it made her suffer for the last months of her life. Special thanks to iateyourpie, who was running a blind Super Mario All-Star race the day of her death, made me be able to go through the day more easily. Shoutouts to my blanket. $15 from Melly. Hello, everyone. I think what you are doing is really great, and if I had more money, I'd donate more, especially since me and my mother were afraid that she had cancer. I want to donate as much as I can so nobody has to lose their loved ones. Oh, and by the way, greetings from Germany. I love your runs. It's awesome and very impressive.
All right, that was a pretty smooth run.
Yeah. As mundane as that star might look, actually finding that sweet spot where you get all 4 coins as you're running by, it's really hard to do.
Yeah. For those who don't play this game, the main gimmick of the Cosmic Club is that they follow your steps exactly. And when you have 5 or 6 of them running around, it's a lot harder to tell.
Yeah. So if you accidentally miss 1 coin, you have to kind of make a big turn to manipulate the clones to not hit you as well or get in your way.
And that level is a perfect example of why you do those comet medals, because they're so fast.
Yeah.
$2 donation from Kitty Bird. I lost my best friend to cancer as it wasn't caught until stage 4 and was given months to live. Keep up the good work, and let's hope future generations don't have to face the pain of losing loved ones like this.
Okay, so this stage is a thing. So this is one of the more random stars in the game, definitely.
Worst star
This
ever.
worst star. It's still a random, awful star, but it's even worse when you realize that the game never told you that you could actually jump up and break your Boulder Mario at any time. I remember being terrified when I thought this star was in the route.
Yeah, and if you can't clear this star, you basically lose about at least a minute because you have to do the whole thing. It takes close to that to kill all of these.
So you just kind of hope they group together. Then once you get to about 24, 25 of them, you start just focusing on single ones and breaking Boulder Mario. That was actually really good.
Now if I could just find this star. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
The hardest part.
$20 anonymous donation. Yoshifan, you are one of my favorite runners and streamers. This is for the perfect run. Also, spikevegeta, I think there's a spider on the ceiling.
On your hair.
Oh. You can stay. That's fine.
$250 from King. As a gamer, I've always wanted to help people in life, and what you guys are doing is amazing. My grandfather sadly passed away with cancer, and ever since then I've always wanted to help out the less fortunate people, and here's one of my chances. You guys are living out my dream by putting both my passions together, gaming and helping the less fortunate. You guys and girls are all the heroes. Keep up the darn good work.
All right, so we're done with comments here for now. We're gonna head over to Bowser Jr.'s Fearsome Fleet.
$25 from Gunco. First time watching AGDQ. It's been an amazing event to behold, and you're all doing a fantastic job. Putting my donation towards SMG2 Perfect Run, but primarily towards a wonderful cause. Keep it up, guys. Love from the UK.
All right, this level can be pretty tricky because there are, well, basically you're doing Yoshi flutters all the way throughout the level.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks for itself.
Right now, that 242 Perfect Run is at $12,483 out of $15,000. Our total donation is $678,844.
Okay. I lost speed at some point there. That was not good.
Yeah, so there are two things that can make these Yoshi flutters pretty dangerous. The first thing is just that the inputs for crouch canceling during your flutter and then starting to flutter again, it's Z and A, which is also the same input for just backflipping off of Yoshi. So if he's not careful that way, he can just backflip off early. But what happened that first time was actually that at some point during the flutter, he lost his momentum. And you only have 10 seconds from when you start fluttering before your speed will just almost zero out. You can still move a little bit, but by the time it happens, if you're not already in a spot where you can just stop fluttering or restart it again, then usually the amount of time it will take to get to safety is longer than the time it would take to just die and try to flutter again. So yeah, every one of these flutters is pretty dangerous.
Yeah, that's probably one of the 3 craziest looking flutters in the run right there.
Yeah. A lot of flutters, you'll see him flutter it basically as high as he can so that right before the 10-second limit, he can backflip off and just, when you backflip, you carry all your momentum. So if he does that, he can extend how far he gets by a pretty good margin.
We're going to stand back a bit here first and go forward here.
Nice.
So that enables those 2 hits in a row. So I'm not going to get 2 hits in a row here, and that is to cancel one of his animations. When he was raising his arms there, he was about to smash his hammers together, which would take a couple of seconds to do. That's a good first phase.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright, so he's still vulnerable up in his cockpit right there. So
Nice. Great fight.
That was a really good fight.
Yeah. That was a great start.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, Yoshifan's probably going to get like 3 something on this star. Even Yoshi fluttering. Normally that star is probably, you know, even when done from a speedrunning standpoint, but without Yoshi fluttering, is probably well over 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of auto scrolling, so needless to say, Yoshi fluttering saves you tons of time in this run.
Have a $20 donation from Kevin and Karen. Told my girlfriend about the great event you guys are doing, and she wanted to donate right away. Here's a little money from the both of us. Much love and respect to all the speedrunners and people who have contributed to this cause. $50 anonymous donation. I normally would donate to the UK charity Cancer Research. However, this event is worthy of supporting, so in this instance, I can accept my donation not going quite as far and hope others watching can give what they can before the end of this event. $20 from Professor NES. Best of luck, Yoshifan. I wish I could have caught this one live, but Twitch from the airport will have to do. Another drop in the bucket towards the perfect run. $10 from Kasuman. Is that you on the donations, Kari? Yes, it is, in fact. Hi, greetings from the backloggery. This is my second time watching AGDQ, and I'm even more blown away than I was last year. That Super Metroid race last night was intense. To all the runners out there, every man!
Alright, I believe this is one other Hungry Luma which isn't in the no bank toad route. So it's basically it only unlocks 2 relatively short stars. Although one of those stars is pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah. Again, it's even though the animation's a little bit longer, he will be collecting 2 stars here, so it is worth it, and it's even more worth it when you see how this star goes.
Hopefully.
Speaking of hard levels with
Yeah,
flutters.
speaking of hard levels with flutters.
Yeah, so the basic idea is you have a bunch of floating platforms and you got Yoshi right at the start. So put 2 and 2 together here. Oh, hi Luigi. So I might have mentioned this earlier, but the spin at the beginning of the flutter helps the acceleration a little bit.
Yoshi able to tell me which checkpoints?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
Yeah.
I was a bit far away for that. Well, I was actually too far to that, so alright.
Very nice.
Very good.
So that's a fast star anyways, so it'd probably still be in the route, but obviously destroying it with Yoshi Flutter is a much better option.
Yeah. It's a relatively dangerous flutter too. I mean, you saw at the end that because he overshot a little bit, he almost couldn't make it to the platform in time, and he only has until that fruit wears out to land on that platform and reset his flutter.
And what's especially dangerous about that level is if you fall, there's an invisible floor essentially right under that area, and it takes some time to basically kill yourself. It takes about 15 seconds to fall off 2 invisible floors and then die, and then
Yeah.
reset.
And the reason that happens is because I think due to the last flutter, the path you take, some of the kill planes end up not spawning. Basically, you're confusing the level a bit.
So this opening to this star is actually a strat made by Yoshifan himself pretty recently. It's pretty good, I'd say.
This level is also home to probably one of the most notorious green stars in the game.
Oh, I actually don't remember.
That's what I'm trying to
What that
think
is.
which one.
The one that's off camera.
Oh, gotta go fast. Okay. So, that early cycle is a bit tricky to make. I can usually tell by like what part of the platform cycle I'm at, and if it's too far into the platform cycle, then I can't make that route in time, and I have to go on the other side of the moving platforms. Basically, because of these spinning grates, you can be either on the top side or the bottom side.
$10 donation from Misleading. I just had to donate during this run since two of my favorite runners are sitting on the couch, Spike and Pie. I love watching you guys stream. Congrats to Spike on that amazing Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Proud Mode run about a week ago. And Yoshi, you keep blowing my mind with this Galaxy run. Keep up the great work. $100 from Chad H. My aunt has been battling breast cancer for the past few months, has been in and out of the hospital because of it. And all I can say is cancer sucks. Love what you guys are doing. Let's get 242.
So in that fight, as long as he actually lines himself up over the boss's chin there, he can actually just do those ground pounds as soon as the boss is vulnerable again. He doesn't have to wait for the boss to move back over the grate.
Yeah, that's a good time in that stage.
And the 242 runs at 13,000, so about $2,000 more to raise for that. $250 donation from Dio. Comment is all Metaflex. $5 from Nerdlord. Donating now because it's easier to find myself in the index this way. Good luck to the current runner for the game. This goes to the choice of their incentive. $50 from Scythe Surge. Keep up the great work. Tuning in this week has been a lot of fun and inspiring. Game on. $50 from Tagger N. Hello, really beautiful what you guys do. Awesome work and great games. Greetings from Sweden. $20 from Woo. Hello, speed friends. I keep throwing my wallet at my monitor, but the money doesn't seem to be reaching you. Hopefully this method has more success. Runner's choice for which center this donation goes towards, and I always wish I could give more.
Alright, so the most important part of the strat is the first part right here. And that's probably it. Yeah, I made it out of that room in time. So that saves like 8 seconds because I got an early cycle. As you can see, this part is all about the gravity cycles, the gravity changing.
Very nice.
As long as you get all the cycles, you finish the level pretty much as fast as you can. That star grab is also a little bit weird. Despite what it looks like, it actually feels like you'll get the star with a higher probability if you are a little bit higher above the star instead of directly lined up, but I'm not totally sure.
Which is odd, because you'll see in a few stars from now that seems like with the drill, Mario's hitbox is actually really large, but I guess that might just be when he's actually using the power.
Yeah, it's only when you're actually drilling. Yeah, you'll see that after this star, actually. Because we'll be going back to that, the Flipsville Galaxy for the purple coins.
The other thing that kind of sucks about the drill is that you cannot long jump with it, and you also can't get out of the drill state unless you get hit or you enter a blinding star.
Have a $50 donation from Elosian. Congrats for this marathon. Shout out to Mr. MV and the French Restream. We thank you very much for the donation, and we very thank Mr. MV for the French Restream and Akai Keystreams for the German Restream. $100 from Aryan Blue. Thanks to everybody behind the scenes at the marathon for keeping things running smoothly and bringing us all great entertainment for a great cause.
Alright, so this star, in a sense, is very straightforward, but optimizing it can be pretty tricky and takes some practice, as you can see. So that wasn't bad, other than that one missed coin near the end.
It's pretty easy in the earlier part of the stage to have to do a little bit of backtracking if you're just a little bit off with grabbing some of the coins and then have to go back. So.
A $100 donation from Joseph Corkery. Thanks all for putting on this event. Lost my grandmother, who was basically my mom, to cancer in my early 20s and hit me hard. Thanks. $10 from Kaithol. Hey guys, I appreciate all that you're doing. Both my grandfathers had some form of cancer, however they both got through it. Now my aunt has colon cancer, she has very little time left to live. She's currently at a cancer treatment center and trying to battle through it. Also, my uncle is also going currently through radiation, as he currently has cancer as well. I know $10 isn't much, but it's the most I can really donate and hope it can go a long way. Good luck on this 242 run.
Alright, so this is where you see that the spin drills hitbox swipe drilling is quite large, and it would be useful for grabbing the coins here. This room can be a little bit tricky here. Oops, that doesn't help. Okay, that's fine. So, here. This window is a bit tight. Hitboxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, really just gotta trust how big the hitbox is in this, actually.
I wasn't drilling it there. Okay, so I guess I'll have to go back up a bit. Other than that, that was good.
Yeah, those are still really good.
Yeah, using the hitbox again.
$50 donation from Togion. Thank you for everything you're doing. Great job, guys. $20 from New Sprig. My grandfather is fighting a vicious cancer for 5 years. Hopefully this will help us fight back. An amazing run so far.
Alright. So we're off to a supermassive galaxy, and then we'll also do Chompworks and Starshine Beach before the end of Road 4. This level actually has a pretty awkward long jump shortcut near the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's see if I get it. Actually, I get to try it twice because I do almost the same level twice here. One for the hidden star. Looks good.
Nice.
Get out of here.
Shoutouts to 99 Lives.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, you can bounce on these turtles repeatedly to gain lives very quickly, 1 per bounce. So this, if you're grinding individual levels for this game, and you might end up using a lot of lives, then this is the place to go to grind lives. So I'm turning the camera here to manipulate the timing of the moving platforms up ahead. Basically, these platforms only move when they are on camera to a first approximation.
Nice.
So that timing worked out very well. Yeah, so you just have to make all these flowers bloom to complete the stage. I just made sure I was like right near where the vine sprouts.
Yeah.
Once I was done.
We have a $200 donation from Thomas Jonell. Fantastic runs this week, AGDQ. It's like an awesome cake of speedy goodness, with today being the cherry on top. Keep up the glitch-abusing, trick-using, frame-dissecting, pixel-perfecting, speed-infusing display of gamer glory.
Well said.
So now Yoshifan, that was the secret star basically of that world. Now he's going to be getting the regular star. You might have noticed he skipped grabbing the comet medal. He did that in order to get a better cycle on those thwomps.
Exactly.
Because now, since he's going to what is essentially the same star again, he's able to skip that opening cutscene, so he has the time to grab it.
$25 donation from NeoSam. Thank you from France for these amazing runs during this whole week.
That was too good. Okay.
Oh. So close.
I wasn't expecting to get that far.
It was too good.
So, yeah.
Yeah, for a second I thought you were just going to make the long jump.
I'm pretty sure that never happens.
Yeah, I was...
I think it's really lame to fail the same trick twice in a row, so I'll go here. Doesn't waste too much.
Yeah.
$20 anonymous donation. Awesome job you're doing. Good luck on the remaining runs. Thank you very much. $50 from Lemissy. Thanks for this awesome week. Pure skill and pure humanity and friendship. See you next year, guys. Thanks to Mr. MV for the French restream.
Yes.
$50 from Vincent Morissette Thomas. Thank you for everything, AGDQ. You are truly inspiring.
This part is the same as
How much
before.
does it change your speed when you long jump and don't check when you fix it?
I don't think the long jump speed is effective.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't think you break stride at all.
Yeah.
Allows for quite a few places where you can take essentially safety saves or checkpoints.
Alright.
Nice.
So most of the time, if you do a handstand on that pole and then jump to the star that way, then you safely grab the star without getting pulled into the gravity of some other part of the planet. The key is most of the time. Fortunately, we're out of that galaxy, so it's not going to happen now.
All right. $15 from the Englishman.
Nice.
Here's 15 to hear karaoke say the following. Betty bought some butter, but she said she, this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a better butter will make my batter better. Then she bought a bit of butter better than the bitter butter, made her bitter batter better. So 'twas better, Betty bought a bit of better butter. That wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be.
Try that again.
That's pretty good.
$20 from Nmusi. Second donation for the run. Thank you again for a great week and making it impossible to work for my finals.
Nice.
Love from France.
There's just a small time saver here. If you do it fast enough, you can beat the cycle of chomps that are rolling.
$20 from Gizmo. Hi all, this marathon has been absolutely amazing to watch, and the whole community is fantastic with so many wonderful people coming together for a great cause. Yoshifan, this Mario Galaxy 2 run is blowing me away. The first one in the room to say Pugnacious Prankster Planet gets to decide where this money goes. Well, I guess it's going towards that 242 run.
Yeah, so you couldn't get that first chomp anyway because you have to push down the green platform and you can't get there fast enough to let the first chomp through.
Would a co-op player be able to stop the chomp?
Probably. I haven't tried it, but that is definitely a possibility. That first chomp you also can't get, so even though I messed up, I wouldn't have been able to get it. So now you just wait for this kid.
We are $800 away from getting that perfect run met.
Wow.
Very nice.
Oh, and by 15 towards
We lowball.
Our total donation is at $682,337.
I don't know about you guys, but I want 800K. I want it to earn dance.
it's $1 million for quota.
1 million for quarter trigger. I don't know, man.
Look at Notch to put his entire life savings into it.
Shoutouts to Best Star coming up.
Oh yeah.
Best Power Up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not too bad. I mean, oh, sorry, you were about to say it.
Oh yeah. It's. I found a way to manage it, basically, but
Yeah.
it does take getting used to. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the spring is very hard to deal with, but the level design for whenever you have to use the spring is always really good. So it's not the most enjoyable power up to use, but the levels still make it fun to play.
Yeah, you're actually supposed to be using it on these earlier planets, but as you can see, it's pretty easy to just go without them until the final planet.
And get around these guys.
Just getting them really close. It's pretty easy to not use this. Shouts to Pac-Man.
Yeah. Although I don't want to start it.
Pretty telling one of the first big secret straights down in Galaxy 1 was to do the galaxy that introduces the spring almost entirely without the spring.
Yeah.
That much.
Whoops. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, like this loses a minute, but we're not using it.
So yeah, my basic strategy is to hit the control stick in the way I need to go about when he lands from a large bounce, and then so basically he's going in the direction I want for the duration of a short bounce, and that gets me to about the right speed.
All right, Yoshifan, I hope you're ready to show off your skills because the perfect run has been met.
already.
Golly.
So, how much for blindfold?
A few million, I guess.
For the equivalent of that challenge, you can hand me the controller.
Oh boy. Alright, so this is a level you might expect to be like pretty slow and uneventful, but it's actually somewhat technical to do fast.
Yeah. This is one of those galaxies that wasn't in like the older Japanese RTAs of this. However, with utilizing some pretty crazy Yoshi fluttering, the star is fast enough.
This whole galaxy is basically an apology for the way Yoshi worked in Super Mario Sunshine. Like,
You can touch water now.
exactly. Like, in Super Mario Sunshine, like, Yoshi couldn't touch water, or he just dissolved. Now Yoshi can go in water, he can run on top of water with the chili power-up. Or the pepper, rather. It's just a ton better.
Apology accepted. Don't worry.
Oh.
Nice.
So again, Sonic the Hedgehog physics kick in when you're using the dash pepper. Upward slope, jump, and you go really high. Or in this case, dismount. Same idea. I
Not Sonic 06 physics.
What physics?
Exactly.
Physics.
think.
All right.
You wanted to be a part of this story? All right. That common metal might have looked a little bit out of the way, but the star you get in this galaxy for that is very, very fast. So,
Okay, that's a pretty good time for that stage.
yeah, I was going to say.
130.
No issues with that.
Would it count as irony that one of the more relaxing levels of casual play is one of the more technical to
Is
do?
actually, yeah.
It seems to turn out that way a lot.
After I clear out one list, I use the bathroom since I'm here too.
It seems like the more open-ended levels in the Galaxy games tend to get more technical stuff.
Also, since it's not really pointed out, when selecting a new star, Yoshifan is pointing away from the television so that it automatically selects it. I don't think anyone mentioned that.
Might have mentioned it once, but
Yeah. The only case where he needs to point it at the screen is if he's wanting to select a star that has a secret star, because those don't actually have their own scenario. They'll just be a part of like the first star, so he actually has to point and select that.
Alright, so Chucksters are arguably better in this game than in Sunshine, which you'll see why in a little bit.
Just a bit better.
Wait, I can save that?
Nice.
Nice.
Hey, Yoshifan, since the perfect run has been met, what would you like your runner's choice donations to go to towards now? There's the Paper Mario Wacko kill or save.
Chrono Trigger file names.
There's also
Wind Waker
Chrono
file
Trigger
names.
file names, which we also just added the Epoch file name to, because apparently we forgot it, but it's cool.
Okay.
It's on for now.
How about save Wacko?
Save the Wacko.
Yeah.
So Yoshifan told me yesterday when we were going through the run, I think you're not supposed to be able to stand on those clouds, and you're not Cloud Mario. So I think he said he's got about a 6-frame window to jump off of it.
Which is actually somewhat generous, so you can get that jump most of the time, but still a little bit tight. Oh, and this game runs at 60 frames per second, so it's basically a tenth of a second to do the jump. Yeah, so again, these cosmic clones basically make it so that you can't retrace your steps without running into these guys. Oh, what am I doing? That was not intentional, but didn't lose time either. At least it shouldn't lose. Oh, stop.
Alright, everyone, single file line.
Okay, that was a little close.
I think in a casual playthrough, slowing down and moving slowly is the last thing you would think to do in something.
Yeah.
You try to run away and hope they don't get you.
Maybe.
Rip.
That tends to happen. Dude.
Reset.
We are at 43. All right, so we're off to Gravity Gauntlet.
Yeah, so this actually contains maybe the craziest looking skip in the game.
It's also one of the first ones found.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Paraxi who found this like a few days after the game came out.
He's got a knack for that.
So yeah, you see later that this isn't a trick you'd expect people to find quickly. Like I still don't know how anyone would think of it. So we're gonna get this life mushroom. It's a hint that some lava boosts might be involved.
Just gotta come over here real quick just to grab the comet medal. And getting that checkpoint's pretty
Here we go.
All right, we got a $1,000 donation from Irregular Programming. Both my mother and grandmother had and survived cancer. Thank you for providing a very entertaining cause.
And that is a very difficult trick.
Yeah.
It is not easy.
And yeah, I was gonna say, kind of clapping for that. What was the rest of that? Sorry.
Irregular Programming had a mother and grandmother that had cancer and survived, so.
I think that's clap-worthy too.
Yeah, so
We have a $502 donation from C-Gnome, and he says, "Hi, I'm C-Gnome. Here's some money." Well, thank you for that money.
Yeah, so one difficult thing about that behind the wall shortcut that might not be evident is that you have to be a precise distance away from the wall that you're running behind. Otherwise, you'll either get stuck somewhere and you won't be able to get out until you just like die in a few seconds, or you'll just fall off of the lava floor. But either way, you lose a life and you have to restart from a checkpoint. So here I'm gonna wait a bit.
So I'd just like to make a quick announcement.
And that should.
Simon Vickland, the composer for Commander Rearmed, the guy who's doing the donation, sent him to remix an NES track, is streaming right now, twitch.tv/Simon Vickland, if you want to see the live composition of the track.
nice.
So the reason I waited to pound the first meteor is that I was waiting for Bowser to start up another punch attack. And then so once I hit him with the meteor, canceled his punch. So I just directed his punch away from the meteors because when this is the only Bowser fight where Bowser drops 2 meteors at a time instead of 3. And that means it's very possible for him to take out both meteors with one punch, which means I have to wait for the next cycle. Alright. So again, you don't want to miss a hit, otherwise you lose in a lot of time.
So obviously the next world is World 5, but Yoshifan's actually going to be doing some backtracking before he actually gets there. So then he can do all of World 5 kind of in one shot before the boss.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, there's at least a couple of stars in Worlds 1 and 2 that are short and worth it, but we weren't able to get them before. And one of those stars is because there was a mail to letter that wasn't unlocked until later. One of those stars is a comet star that's unlocked when you get like 18 comet medals or something.
Right, we have a $20 donation from Andrew Davis. Hey AGDQ, my close friend Mariah has had cancer, result the loss in too many of her family members. In honor of her grandfather who showed her the magic of video games too before he passed away, and I hope she never has to deal with cancer herself. I hope we're able to beat up cancer with this awesome cause. Keep up the good work, everyone. $50 from Aluvatar42. Thanks everyone for this AGDQ, especially Mr. MV for the French restream. And if you're just tuning in now, this is AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick 2014, hosted by Speed Demos Archive, the premier site for high-quality speedrun videos, and SRL Speedruns Live, the best site to race video games at any skill level. We're raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, the only nonprofit U.S. organization dedicated to the research of cancer prevention techniques.
All right, so this star is almost the same as the first star. There's a few meteors that mostly don't get in the way, a few cracks in the floor that mostly don't get in the way. The end is a little bit different though, because I don't need the comet medal anymore because I already got it.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm sure it was explained earlier, but going up that left side, because that dash pepper is there, allows Yoshifan to never actually lose the dash pepper power. And going up the normal side, he would have lost it before he got to that one right there.
And the dash pepper I just got, I had Yoshi eat it late so that the dash pepper effect would last long. All right, this jump.
First try, yeah. Nice.
So the way that jump works, actually, like you might think is just a regular slope thing, but actually you have to jump off the very edge, the very top edge, because that's the only place where you can actually get that high of a jump. But if you fail it once, or if you fail it like any number of times, you can just keep trying, because you can just fall down, get another dash pepper, and try again.
And before Goomba, please.
Oh, yeah. So you'll see what we're talking about in a minute. Get up there. Oh, no. I should have held A. Oh, for those,
go back too far.
Yeah. For those who don't know, if you hold A during a spin, then you get a bit more height, which is probably what I have to do there. How do I turn the camera? See?
Nice.
The jump is actually not that hard. It's pretty neat. Okay, let's go.
Gotta be pretty careful with this troll Goomba.
Oh, no.
Oh! That Goomba.
And you only get 2 Goombas, so if they both get smushed, you have to restart the level.
Yeah. Alright, so after this, we're getting the Bowser Jr.'s Fiery Flotilla Comet, and then we're back to World 5.
Our $121 donation from KV. Thanks for the great week of runs and for such a great cause. Tomorrow marks 2 years that my grandfather lost his battle with liver cancer. Here's to stop our cancer once and for all. 3646 from Christoph Gassa with some nice code here. Ready? Print hello AGDQ 2014. Print together anything's possible. Go to 10, run. $50 from Killian Voss. Thanks from Germany for an outstanding event for a great cause. Come on everyone, let's go for $1 million.
Alright, so this star here is basically just the boss fight I did earlier.
Where's the one where you have to fight enemies on fire?
That's in the Battle Builds Galaxy, which I don't end up doing.
$25 donation from Peach Mom. Amazed by the fundraising done for the Prevent Cancer by Awesome Games Done Quick. For our daughter and son-in-law, who have always been a big part of this, Mark and Jessica, the Empty Eyes, who are not able to be there in 2014, but are still promoting the good work you do. Thank you all, go gamers. Speaking of promotion, if you aren't able to donate, you can spread the word by tweeting #AGDQ2014. Spread the word, get people in to watch us on GamesDoneQuick.com.
So again, another thing I'm sure was explained the first time you fought him, but you're trying to manipulate him to essentially just be closer to the planet for those last few hits.
Mm. And the way you do that is just lead him in one direction.
Yeah, it kind of straightens him out as opposed to having him floating around everywhere when you're swooping and swerving. And we're off to World 5 finally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're not getting too many stars from World 5, but the ones that are there are, they're kind of technical. And yeah, it's right after this.
Yeah, it's not gonna last too long, but
yeah,
unfortunately, we'll get our taste. This first planet coming up here, doing it optimally is really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Shoutouts to Nemi.
Oh yeah, so Nemi in his record run, he pretty much did this level absolutely flawlessly. And it's one of the hardest levels to do flawlessly, in my opinion. Let's wait for it. Nope. Okay, I guess that works.
$150 donation from Radjax. Thanks all for putting on this event. Lost my father last week to cancer and it hit me hard. What you're doing is just awesome. Much love from France.
Alright, so if I had full health, I would skip the life mushroom, but In case anything happens near the end of the level, I'm just gonna get it. There's a bunch of lasers and electric stuff. I'm gonna get hit by that one. It's fine.
Yeah, thankfully on hitting those lasers, you get suspended in air for a little bit, so he could just tank that.
All right, for reference, Nemi got 113 on this one, and I just got 126.
Yeah.
So like 126 is pretty good for me. But, yeah. Again, it's pretty amazing that Nemi got such a solid record while he didn't have much competition at the time.
Yeah.
Pretty much, he had the best single segment he had to compare with was like at least 20 minutes slower.
Yeah.
So
it is on SDA. It's still the record.
Yeah.
He has, I guess, I asked Yoshifan yesterday, he started doing some World 1 and 2 runs. So it's looking like he might be getting the motivation.
Yeah, to improve it. Because there's been a decent amount of new strats found, especially in the earlier worlds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to do this. This skips whole first chunk of this level. Again, utilizing momentum.
Anytime the platform that you're standing on is moving,
like I said, you're not going to hear much of that track.
That is a highlight.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so I was starting to say, anytime the platform that you're standing on is moving, when you jump, you'll carry that momentum with you when you jump. So if it's moving upwards, your jump will go much higher. If it's moving forwards, it'll go much faster. If it's moving to the side, your jump will move awkwardly to the side. The only real problem, if it's moving backwards, that can be a problem sometimes because it cuts your momentum a little bit. I assume it applies to moving downward, although I haven't actually seen that happen before.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't think it applies to moving downward, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
These great platforms here are a little odd. They actually shake when you land on them, and there is a frame where it can actually give Yoshifan a boost that he's not expecting. It shouldn't affect him too badly if it happens, but it's hard to say.
Yeah.
So in case anyone's like me and they woke up a little bit late, what he's essentially doing there with Cloud Mario is that if he spins and long jumps right next to each other, then he'll get that extra boost, which allowed him to skip having to go all the way around there normally.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah, so the patterns are the exact same every time, but they can be rotated in 4 different ways.
Yeah. Oof.
That's fine.
Nice.
Still got a lot of time.
Extra credit. That's 720.
We may have met the perfect run donation incentive. We still have a bunch of things you can donate towards, like Chrono Trigger character names, Wind Waker file name. Everything's listed on our Games Done Quick tracker for that, so you can see what's winning, what names you want to donate towards, you want to add a new name. We also have a good bundle of prizes available during this little Mario block we've got going on, including a Mario Brothers cast poster and a Mario pendant set. And specifically for this game, we got a cute little Luma plushie available.
not to mention to earn dance. 800K. So pretty cool sequence break he's going to be doing here. Kind of manipulating or utilizing the gravity of the game.
Yeah, so some planets have stronger gravitational pulls than you might expect.
That's why this game's strange. It just looks cool, even if you're doing something completely intentional.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what allows this game. Nice. And the boost. And the boost.
Oh, that's fine. I can wall jump here.
No, Yoshifan.
Okay, I have to get a coin from one of these guys. This guy? Yeah. Alright, so I'm turning the camera here so that I can manipulate the timing of these ice platforms. So normally I would have to wait for a few seconds for the next round of ice platforms to appear. But they were just like lined up perfectly because I turned it. Oh yeah. Alright, so I'm skipping this first coconut on purpose. I'm hitting this one late. So what that does is basically when he reaches that part of the arena on the second or third phases, he does this upward firing attack, which wastes some time and also kind of randomizes the flight. So he didn't do the upward shooting attack at all there because I manipulated his pattern. The other important thing is that you get the second hit very quickly, in addition to getting the first hit late.
A $20 anonymous donation. I hate cancer. Let's beat cancer like we beat those games.
Going back to what Englishman said about just, I don't know, speedrunning this game looks pretty cool. Again, it's a little different than you would expect. It's obviously the Galaxy series from a speedrunning standpoint is much different than Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, which were obviously much more parkour style. But getting to utilize all the different gravity tricks in this game is really fun. Makes for a lot of fun little sequence breaking. Mm-hmm.
This is another fairly technical galaxy.
Yeah,
so the gimmick with this galaxy is that there are sections, you can see there are sections where there's gravity upside down and sections where it's right side up. There are also sections where it switches between the two. So Yoshifan is going to be using a lot of tricks to get through those sections smoothly. Because the game will kind of, anytime gravity switches 180, the game kind of, it stops you to flip you around, which can kill your speed in a lot of places. Oh, geez.
That was really early.
Oh, that was unfortunate. So he did want to bounce off that Goomba, but unfortunately, it happened before he stopped his momentum forward.
Yeah.
That was basically about as high as he could have bounced off it, though. So if he could have stopped his momentum, that would have been basically the perfect jump off of it.
Also, this is maybe just the most awkward hallway in the run.
That's
Oh,
fine.
the platform is really dumb. That was pretty good, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of place where if you didn't practice it for like at least an hour, then you'll probably just stumble through it. Because basically if you mess up one part in that gravity changing section, then it throws off everything else because everything's out of sync.
$50 donation from Lisa Chaplet. Thanks to all of you for what you are doing. This donation is on behalf of Marche Fighter Paladin's grandfather, currently in the hospital fighting prostate cancer. Love from all your Florida family watching you this morning.
Thanks, Mom.
Alright, so we're going back here for the hidden star. For some reason, you can't really enter that pipe easily unless you do a spin. It's kind of weird. Okay.
Yoshifan might have said earlier, but in a lot of ways, this is actually easier than the first incineration puzzle. Not as many, I find it's just not as many weird angles you have to throw it at. And the boxes are pretty packed together.
That's okay.
It's also one of the only parts of Galaxy 2 that is explicitly easier than its equivalent of Galaxy 1. Just because
Oh yeah, all the junk.
The current game was way too hard for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Galaxy 1, you basically have like metal pieces of trash that you had to clear with bob-ombs, and like there were markers that were placed down to show you like recommended places to put them, but they were still really tight on time, and it was hard to control where you threw them.
I think the second one's one of the last stars I didn't get it.
Probably.
So we got just a couple more stars in World 5. So this one in Blue Moon isn't particularly exciting, but it is like 1 minute long. Generally, the threshold for accepting a star into this run is like a time of 1 minute 30 seconds. But again, it depends on stuff like comet requirements, if it's a comet, or the events that appear after the star is over.
Like right there with that last star, it was pretty fast. I mean, obviously it was fast enough to be in the route, but he did have to factor in how it warps you to the underground part of the ship to see yourself getting the fire flower.
Yeah, so this is mainly an auto-scroller. The last part is a little bit tricky with grabbing the star, though. You can also speed this up a little bit by knowing where to jump from. And this part, we wait until around the launch star to the next part. So watch out for those guys. And the comet medal is just on the way, so. Alrighty.
Nice. That's a lot harder than it looks.
The angle is kind of weird, but there's a consistent way to do it. It's like you hold left at first, and then during your long jump, you can kind of tweak to the north, and that gets you about to the right spot. Again, it feels a bit weird at first, but with practice, it's not too bad.
Yeah. It almost still makes that easier than going the normal way, because the boos that get in the way can be really frustrating.
All right, so here's another Rainbow Star stage, except that it's on ice. So one thing that a lot of people might not realize is that skating isn't necessarily the best way to do this. The reason is when you're Rainbow Mario, running and skating are exactly the same speed. And running is actually a lot more maneuverable. So I'm going to skate just a little bit to get to full speed. Skating is good for its acceleration, but after that, you just run. Oh. Okay. Oh, I'm too far.
You can actually kill all the enemies with a single rainbow power-up, and it actually looked like he was on pace to do that there, but it's a lot safer and doesn't really cost much time to grab the extra one.
Yeah, there's no pause animation when you achieve that, so it's literally just the time it takes to swerve and grab it. And I believe that's it for World 5 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I'm at 55, yeah. Wait. I was trying to like click the part of the map that I wanted to go to. Fun fact about world map navigation. So the easier way to navigate the map is to just use the control stick, but if you point and click at the part of the map you want to go, then at each intersection in the map you have a smaller delay, so it is actually faster to navigate with the pointer.
Yeah.
I don't bother doing it too much because it takes a bit of time to aim as well. But if you were tasking it, you would totally do that all the time.
Yeah, one negative someone might be thinking before, you know, if you were interested in getting into speedrunning the Galaxy games. I'm not familiar with Galaxy 1, but Galaxy 2 actually has very little motion control in it.
So aim for this guy's face.
Nice. That was his game. Right, it's actually, it used to be, and again, some of the older Japanese RTAs I watched, there was a lot of Fluzzard, the rolling ball minigame. Yeah. Essentially stuff like Boulder, wow, nice. Essentially enough sequence breaks were found like Boulder Bowl Galaxy to where you could, pretty much everything in this route is just straight platforming as opposed to gimmicky levels.
I have a $100 donation from Remco from the Netherlands. My best mate lost his sister a few weeks ago. You're all amazing for taking this effort to raise money. Thank you. Good luck with the Mario run and looking forward to Chrono Trigger. Could someone do an awesome Mario dance in front of the camera? I think if the 242 goes well, I think everyone on the couch should do one, but that's just my opinion.
There you go. There you go. What's a Mario dance? Oh, do the Muppet. I couldn't.
Turn around and show a star.
Oh, okay. Alright, we'll do that on 242.
Whoa, getting a bit close.
Obviously, with his electricity, he can blow away your clouds, so you have to be careful you're not getting too close. It's like almost 11 hours.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Time is.
Go ahead. Sorry.
That time is actually pretty decent as well. So yeah, if you're looking to learn 242, don't expect it to go much lower than 10 hours.
Yeah, that's not exactly a free record.
Yeah.
The Japanese runner who has that category, he actually knows the strats.
Yeah.
They might not be as optimized as like Nemi's run, but yeah.
Yeah, the 242 record holder is Konku, who has a 3-hour, 27-minute time in 71 star, and he did it without being tilled, so it's pretty decent. He's also well versed in Galaxy 1. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. Let's say Sunshine's like over 4 or something.
3 low is 8 or 9.
Oh, okay, so pretty close.
Yeah.
Has no one done a 120 Galaxy 1 run?
There have been runs of that. The record is like 6 hours, 30-something minutes, I think.
Do you still have the Galaxy 1 60 Luigi record?
Yeah, that is the run I did 2 AGDQs ago, actually.
Yeah. Shoutouts to getting record AGDQ and then staying record for 2 years. Starting to see some more people getting interested in the Galaxy series. I've been noticing on Twitch though, so.
Yeah.
It does seem like this one has generated a lot more popularity from the speedrunning standpoint than one was, despite it being longer.
Plus cutscene friction.
Sure. They're like, yeah, we already gave you the story.
I have a $20 donation from Krager. Love Super Mario Galaxy 2. I want that kawaii plushie. Go Yoshifan. Beat cancer.
It might be the Craig R I know. Like, there's a Craig someone who's dabbled in Galaxy 2 running.
$5 from Sir Retro. I definitely have been enjoying watching this stream since Tuesday. My mother is a 2-time cancer survivor, and I'm representing her watching this. You guys are awesome and help making a difference in the world as gamers. Sincerely, a fellow gamer.
There we go.
Yeah.
So if I'm too slow leading up to that tornado, then I have to wait for it to move back to the left. Just gotta be careful here.
The gravity in this section is very weird because all of these planets are tiny.
So they all have their own pull.
Yeah, every single one of them has its own pull, and it's just very finicky, sort of jumping from one to the next. Your momentum carries over oddly, and yeah, and if you
Yeah, basically because the planets have such high curvature, so yeah, so the gravity feels very odd. Okay, so other than taking it pretty safe at the end, that was a pretty good run of the level. I think I've been taking 3 different routes from the bottom to the bottom of the starship to the bottom of this room.
You're taking all of them now.
I don't know. I just like showing them all.
Yeah, they're all, like you said, about the same. I guess the only one that's a little slower is going up the front way. It actually loses about 2 seconds or so or something.
Yeah. Even if you grab Yoshi there and flutter to the button, it ends up being a couple seconds slower at least. Which is unfortunate because dismounting off of Yoshi and landing directly on the button looks pretty cool.
So in this section, you get 100 points for every pin you hit. You need to hit 50 of them, and there are 56 in total. So he can afford to miss 6 of the pins. I believe there are 3 that he is essentially planning to skip because he'd have to wait for a platform to turn over.
Yeah, depends on how many pins I get before that. Oh, all right.
Oh.
Let's go back.
That was odd.
It happens. Wait, I'm supposed to go there when they were to the side. Okay. Okay, well, because the cycles are that way.
Perfect score. Oh.
Yeah, if I was as fast as possible to that, to the one that rotated like this, then I would have gotten the underside. But the cycle was past that point already.
Yeah, I know. I was sitting there for a second. I was like, wait, does that send you back to the start? So obviously, as we're getting later in the game, the stars generally are more extensive. There's a lot more to them. For this next Galaxy, it's faster for him to...
not yet.
You're still doing this one, my
Yeah.
bad. I'll save that comment for later.
Put it towards the bottom.
That's right.
Yeah. So if you ever need to farm star bits for whatever reason, this is the level to go to. Because every one of those blue crystals has a bunch of star bits in it.
Yeah, this is probably where you'd go if you were doing 242 and you needed to grind star bits. Since you need 9,999 star bits in your bank toad to unlock the 242nd star. Yeah.
It'd be either this one or probably Sweet Treat Galaxy. Is my guess be. But most likely this one. This is the one that we used to farm all the time.
Yeah, I remember I used to farm from Sweet Mystery Galaxy, but yeah.
I have a $10 donation from Leland Dog. Hey guys, congrats on all the money raised
This
so
is an
far.
awful star. This is.
There you go.
There you go.
It has to be literally like right under that star to get it.
Yeah.
Either that or you jump, but you, unless you're really keeping track of things, you risk just jumping off.
Yeah, obviously you go back pretty far if you jump off, so better to just hope you can get the middle of Mario to touch it.
Yeah.
So that was $10 from Leland Dog. Hey guys, congrats on all the money raised so far. Having lost both my grandfathers to cancer, everything you guys are doing is really appreciated. Since I've decided my one university course is finished to go into cancer research myself. Great work, you guys, and thanks again.
So yeah, again, the main star here, because you have to go this route to get to all the faster stars beyond it, you do have to collect a star from this galaxy. But it's actually faster to collect the secret star, which, yeah, so even though it looks like it might take a while for him to collect these 30 coins, after that the star is pretty much done. And it's much faster than doing the normal star here.
This star is very frustrating.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really, the normal star is very, very long.
Yeah, and there's really not much in the way of, I don't know if any like sequence breaking in the star or anything, so.
Yeah, the normal star definitely takes over 2 minutes. This one takes, well, less than that. Alright, so I can get just 3 from here, which is good.
He wants to get 30 coins here.
That's nice.
Oh!
That was a bit. Normally it's not that close to the edge. I guess I was a bit farther, so.
So to note, if he had missed that, he would have had to recollect the 30 coins. Yeah. So yeah, even though that took a while to collect all those 30 coins, as you can see, using a triple jump here,
Yeah.
you can just get stuck.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely takes under 2 minutes. It's got 134 in that.
If you're just coming in, you're watching Super Mario Galaxy 2 on Awesome Games Done Quick 2014. Hosted by Speed Demos Archive, the site for high-quality speedrunning videos, and Speedruns Live, the place to run and race games at any skill level. We're raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, the only nonprofit U.S. organization dedicated to the early detection and prevention of cancer. Our current donation total is $685,400.
Nice.
I want to say, though, we're actually playing Super Mario 64 now.
Yep.
You will be attempting cannonless.
Yes.
There will be no cannons in this room. So yeah, here's Yoshifan's best Sublimic impersonation.
Nice.
That jump is weird.
Yeah, grabbing onto ledges is a little weird in this game because you don't really grab the ledge and pull up. It's almost just like a small jump off the ledge.
Goes first. C1.
Nice. Yeah, that's
right.
very precise.
So that is cannonless because I did not have to defeat the Thwomp to open the cannon.
Nice.
It literally only saves like 2 seconds, but it's really good.
Yeah. So what happens with that trick is if you're standing at the very edge of where the Thwomp can crush you, sort of like basically you'd be half underneath him and half not underneath him. And if you jump right before he hits you, he just sort of slams you through the ground. It's a little hard to time. Yoshifan's been practicing it a lot this week. There are basically 2 things that can happen if you mess it up. One, the first thing is obviously just that you get crushed. The second thing is that it can push you through the ground, but not clip you all the way. So you're just sort of stuck halfway in the ground until the Thwomp stands back up, and then you pop back out.
Yeah, that one, that ladder thing you mentioned is more rare, but it does happen. Oh yeah, and this Swamp King you cannot jump through like in Mario 64.
No, they patched that.
We have a $750 donation from Brett V. Hey guys, been watching since Classic Games 2010. These marathons have been getting better each year. Can we put this money towards a Spike Proud Mode run during the bonus stream? Kingdom Hearts hype. I'm really hoping to get the NES PC to go alongside my Bowser plushie from last year. Keep up the great work, 750K incoming.
So we'll be going all over this stage now, but it'll be a little bit different from Mario 64 because we have the cloud power. So they hit a silver star in the outside corner here.
Yeah, this star the route of this almost reminds me more of one of the extra stars from the DS Mario 64.
Yeah.
Where you utilize going around.
We can reuse this cloud.
Nice. Ground pound the star.
Yep.
I have to jump first.
Nice.
So there are 2 paths through World 6. The reason we went to the upper path first is for a throwback galaxy right here. Not just because it's a cool galaxy, but also the stars are relatively short. But now we're coming back to the bottom path because the last galaxy in the upper path is Battle Belt, which takes a while. This is the last Hungry Moon we gotta feed.
Yeah, Battlefield Galaxy takes... Boy, Battlefield Galaxy is slow enough to where it's debatable even in a non-bank toad run. And I've seen it in non-bank toad runs. People still collect 1,800 star bits to take this bottom path.
Yeah, that's done in the non-Bingto record, which incidentally is 3 hours 23 minutes by a Japanese runner called Neguro. And actually, the two runs that I learned the most from when forming strategies for me to practice are Nemi's run and Neguro's non-Bingto run, because they use some interesting strategies that basically the non-Nico players never thought of until we found this run. Alright, this backflip is kind of tricky. Oh, never mind. Okay, I was trying to bounce off that guy and then fly into the column. It looks pretty cool, but it's kind of hard to do. I think I can make it there.
I'm not sure you even needed to spin there.
Yeah, probably not even. Okay, so we're getting one more star from World 6 for now, and then we're backtracking a little bit to clean up some comet stars. So we're getting pretty near the end here. Again, there's 71 stars in the run, and we are at 63 now.
Yeah, Slimy Spring Galaxy is another one that's not a fast star, but it's still faster than taking the top route. You have to defeat one of these to actually get access to Final Star.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's one of the most satisfying endings.
Yeah.
At least 5 seconds behind us either.
Alright, got the slope jump and don't ground pound. Keep on the speed. Oops. Gotta hold Z to enter the water sometimes. Alright, so this will be going on for a while, just so you know.
Yeah. I guess I'll just explain again, if you're like me and you woke up late. Swimming in this game is actually, like spinning underwater, is actually the same speed as using the shell. However, obviously using the shell, you don't have to work nearly as much to do it. Mm-hmm. And you don't go through your air nearly as fast.
Actually, I think in this game you do not lose air when you spin underwater, unlike Galaxy 1.
Oh, okay.
You do with Luigi.
With Luigi, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's been a while since I used Luigi in this game.
Yeah, there is a good reason for.
Oh yeah, you don't. I give the best commentary. Completely informed.
Yeah. So although swimming and taking the shell are about the same speed in this game, there are a couple reasons you might want to take the shell instead of swimming though. In the first level, we saw him take advantage of the fact that if you're using the shell when swimming, then when you get out of the water, you actually sort of shoot out of the water, and that's usually a second or so faster than just jumping out of the water without the water. There's also that.
That scenery, enjoy it. Yeah, there is another shell that's kind of off to the side you could go grab, but obviously that's pretty swag to hit that.
Yeah. And then I think in these sections, like, you don't get the speed boost if you don't have a shell. I'm not sure.
You get a much smaller speed boost.
It's smaller, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I ever went through that section without a shell.
Yeah, I only remember because Galaxy 1 has those same speed rings. And at some point I tried spinning through those speed rings, and it doesn't give as much speed as when you have the shell. Okay, so right now we are going to World 3 for a couple of comments.
Yeah, this one. And basically the same stars earlier, you just get cosmic clones as well.
Yeah. Still mostly a bunch of long jumps.
Yeah.
And again, it's going to be on a different cycle than the last time he ran through this because he's spawning at a different spot as well.
So, after Yoshifan's done with his 71-star run here, he'll be doing the perfect run, the 242nd star, the hardest level in the game. After that, we have a run of Paper Mario coming up, and for Paper Mario, we have a donation incentive of what to do with Wacka. Are we going to bump him so many times that we end up killing the poor guy, or let him live and only get how many bumps we need? Right now, winning at $2,732 is get greedy and whack him enough to get rid of him. Also have a bunch of character names coming up for Chrono Trigger, which is our last run. You can donate to name any of the characters and your time travel airship.
Was hand cam for 16 star met?
Hand cam for 16 star has been met.
Okay.
And of course you can also donate towards the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, small little game you might not have heard of, for the file name for that.
Alright, so even though it says silver stars and double time here, it actually moves 4 times as fast.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, the cutscene doesn't show the full speed.
Yeah, the cutscene lies to you.
It totally does. This is a fun one. And for some reason they put Yoshi there. So.
We'll just let them Yoshi flutter, it's fine.
They knew.
Nope.
Oh!
I got the checkpoint.
Nailed that checkpoint though, yeah.
For good reason.
Yeah, so that's one nice thing about Yoshi is that even though you skip a lot of the level, often you'll go close enough to a checkpoint flag that you can hit it with Yoshi's tongue. So obviously that saves him a good deal of time there, as opposed to just dying and restarting.
Yeah, so the route here makes use of the few purple blocks that are around the pyramid. Alright, so after this, we're getting 2 comments from World 4 and then 2 from World 6. And then we'll be off to Bowser.
And for everyone just waking up now, you're watching Awesome Games Done Quick 2014, hosted by SDA Speed Demos Archive, the site for high-quality speedrun videos, and SRL Speedruns Live, the site to race games against your friends at any skill level. We're nearing the end of the Super Mario Galaxy 2 run by Yoshifan right now. Next up is going to be Paper Mario by Anatomy Z.
So one little minor world map optimization you guys might have noticed there was whenever you select a world, one of the 6 worlds, you actually start at the beginning of the world. So it was actually faster for Yoshifan to go to the start of World 5 and then just backtrack to the star at the end of World 4. Oof.
Grab that clock to be safe. Basically, if I mess up at all, then I might want to get that clock. I'll be trying this again.
Got it again. Not that I think that looks easy, but it's harder than he makes it.
Yeah, it does take getting used to. Okay. Gravity's kind of weird here.
So yeah, as you can see, that trick saves a ton of time that he has to do that start twice.
Mm. Depending on how well you can do either route, it saves 20 to 25 seconds of it. Oh yeah, and that Gravity Gauntlet comet, I believe, is the comet with the highest medal requirement in this run. So it's the reason we need 32 comet medals. There's also I think the beat block one requires 31, and this one right here requires 28. So those are some of the more demanding ones. Alright, so this is the reason we got the comet medal here, because this is a pretty short star.
In case anybody's worried, there's way more than 100 coins.
Yeah.
So this is probably at least one of the easiest stars in the run.
Yeah. You can also take a larger cut across the water, but I usually don't do it unless I've gotten like all but about 3 of the coins up to the second last set of peppers.
Two comet stars to go.
Mm-hmm.
Another case where it's basically the same star, but now he has a time limit.
Mm-hmm. The movement cycles of a couple of elements are also slightly different.
Okay, yeah.
But overall it's not much of a change. It's because these cutscenes are showing different elements of the level, and most of these things only move when they're on camera. So we can get past this guy. And we can go under his throne. So that's pretty much the only 2 differences. Depending on your strategy. I guess if you use that rotating plank at the part coming up, then I suppose that would also be different.
Yeah, again, 2 for 2.
Yep.
Nice.
And this last star before he goes off to Bowser is, it can be pretty crazy looking, just with everything on screen. Learning good ways to combo these enemies can be pretty tricky to optimize, I would think.
Saving frames on the map,
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
or
So
attempting to.
for each of the enemies in this level, he basically has 3 options for killing them. He can either jump on them, he can spin attack them, or he can shoot them with a star bit and then run into them, and Mario will automatically kick them. If it's hard to say which one is faster depending on the situation. Like at the start, he's got a really nice way of killing the first 3 enemies. But yeah, and you'll see for a lot of them he tries to hit them with star bits and kick them if possible. And that's just because when you spin, unless you're moving in the same direction immediately afterwards, there's a bit of a delay before you can turn and move on. But at the same time, hitting them with star bits beforehand adds an extra layer of execution that he has to hit. And as you can see, if he misses and tries to run straight into it, then it can cause a problem when he gets hit. And then right here, for some reason, they give you Yoshi at the end. And Yoshi can just sort of start eating them up one by one, or 2 at a time, or 3 at a time, I think I've seen every now and then.
Yeah.
So that saves some time at the end.
Yep. We're at 70 now, so we're off to Bowser next. Incidentally, the final Bowser level has some challenging tricks, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, in particular, it's got, I mean, despite a lot of the crazy Yoshi flutters you guys have seen so far in this run, this is probably the craziest looking, and it's definitely one of the hardest to execute. To note, Nemi, the current world record holder for this, his last 2 world records, both that were sent into SDA, he died on this final level, and it was his only death of the run. So he got like a 312, decided he wanted to redo it, and then again got all the way through and only died here at this Yoshi flutter. It's a great run. That's really the only huge mistake in the run.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if this is the absolute hardest flutter in the game, but it definitely is a possible choke point for a lot of runs. I'm not sure like between this one and the Yoshi Star one
Very first
flutter. I suppose it depends on how much you practice the year one. Each one has several pitfalls to executing them.
If I would have to say, it'd probably be this one because it means so much more. You're at the end of the run.
Sure. And especially when you're starting learning Galaxy 2, the one from Yoshi Star is not exactly crucial to getting a decent time. It skips 1 planet.
And this one saves a ton of time.
This one is basically required to learn.
And meanwhile, we've got some other tricks up our sleeve.
There you go. Yeah, overall this ends up being a pretty exciting end of the run. At least building up to Bowser.
So that hit was intentional to lose the spin drill. That allows me to spin for height as well as long jump.
That long jump at the end of that little planet is a little awkward. If you jump diagonally there, it actually gives you a little bit more height because of the way the gravity transitions from one side to the next.
Oh.
I just got the checkpoint.
Good timing.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, might know what happened there. Yeah. Because there's one point where you can do a long jump instead of a normal jump or something, and so one of the elevators got on screen and one of the fireballs didn't, so they were kind of out of sync.
And again, I'm sure it was explained earlier, but the way he's able to make the clouds so quickly is that he's actually canceling his landing by crouching.
Alright. Oh, sorry, were you going to explain something?
Oh, just saying this is it.
This is
yeah,
it, yeah.
this is the crazy Yoshi flutter.
Yeah, not quite this one, but this is.
Yeah. So again,
This is weird.
yeah, you can only flutter for about 10 seconds in the air before your speed just sort of dies. So he has to do this one in 2 parts. So this second part is the crazy part. If you go too high or drop too low too quickly, you'll actually get caught up in gravity from something else. Oh, that looks really good.
First try, baby.
Very nice.
That's incredibly difficult. That's awesome. Can you make the top platform?
You can.
You
yeah.
can. Okay.
I've done
Actually,
it
know
a few
that.
times, but yeah, it's pretty close here, actually.
So yeah, that's essentially a big auto scroller section you have to go through otherwise. So that saves a ton of time.
Going into this final fight, we've got $687,000.
Nice.
I think we can make that 750 goal, maybe even 800, do some dancing.
Alright, so this is largely the same as the second Bowser fight in terms of its pattern, although his shock waves are a little bit different and he's a bit faster to pull out his punches after dropping the meteors. So again, that late hit to cancel one of his punches. Saves about 4 seconds. Since he throws 3 meteors, there's pretty much no danger of him punching out all of them. There's a danger of that, though.
Yeah, it feels like with each Bowser fight, his hitbox gets, at least his shell starts deflecting the attacks. So like, I think that would have damaged him in the first hit.
I think he already killed the other meteor. Oh, I remember now. Okay, 1 meteor landed on the other, so that can happen too. Basically, this fight is hard for some wrong reasons, but that's just how it is. It does mean you get to hear more of the music.
So while he's doing this final fight, I just want to remind you guys to definitely go follow Yoshifan on Twitch. He's obviously great at everything he plays. Does a lot of F-Zero GX, which I'm sure some of you might be familiar with from earlier in the marathon.
I'm not as good at CGN though.
I think most people can say that.
Even if he's not as good at CGN, though, I mean, like, this is still the person who was crazy enough to run that game at AGDQ last year. Like, that's just doing that is already insane, even if it's not at CGN's level.
Yeah, so definitely go follow him. Again, you can see it on the bottom of the page, twitch.tv/Yoshifan28. Also, if you're interested in more of this game, the current world record is on Speed Demos Archive by Nemi, again, at 3 hours and 11 minutes. And it really is a great watch. There's been some new tech and new tricks found, but I mean, I don't know. The run has aged incredibly well. Nice. I love that.
Get it. Oh.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
Get wrecked.
I had to wait for that one.
About to say, I didn't know if
it might go through Bowser. It's kind of good.
Nice.
All right, so at the final star grab, we'll stop the timer.
There it goes.
Take about 30 seconds to get there.
Also, I know there's a wiki page. Anybody who might be interested in learning this game. I know SDA does have a strategy wiki, which actually does have a lot of good stuff in the knowledge base. Are there other places you would recommend to go, Yoshifan, if you wanted to learn it?
I think that is the main place where the techniques are explained, yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Nemi have worked a decent amount on that page. All right, star grab coming up.
Time.
14. Okay, that's a PB.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, and that is a. Yeah, that's right.
It's like
That's
7 or 8 deaths.
With 7 or 8 deaths.
That's ridiculous.
All right. So I believe we are doing Grandmaster.
Yeah, so as cute as there's actually a cool.
This Grandmaster first.
No, we're doing the
doing
bonus
the
star that
perfect
was
round.
down 84
Yeah.
and then
I was just resetting.
All right, it's
Yeah,
time for the perfect run.
It's faster on the VC. So.
Yeah, you probably start it when you select the star, yeah.
Well, there's an in-game time as well, so
Yeah.
it's up to you.
Star reset.
Not that one.
Asteroids, whatever it's called.
Here we go.
All right, so
All right, so yeah, do you have a timer ready? Okay, restart and go. Sure.
I'm off as soon as it's run.
all right. So the first thing to know is that you should skip the beginning cutscenes, or if you can't skip them, you might as well kill yourself, because this first part is terrible. If you have to watch the cutscenes, the timing of the green guys is ridiculous.
So the first thing Yoshifan wants to make sure of is to hold on to Yoshi through this section. I mean, obviously through this section, but getting up to here, because Yoshi's movement is faster than Mario's, and it makes this next section much easier. There's 6 total sections in the perfect run, or just in this galaxy in general. This is definitely the easiest. After here, he'll be getting Cloud Mario, and it's going to get a little crazier.
Yeah, definitely. If you keep Yoshi to here, there's not too much these lasers can do.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you have to leave Yoshi at the beginning of this, so.
Well, technically, you don't have to, but fluttering to the next part takes several minutes to do, like just the flutter. All right, so just so you know, I'm gonna play it pretty safe compared to the rest of the run, because I actually want to complete this sometime in the next hour, you know?
Yeah. Anybody who hasn't played this, again, he's got, I mean, as you can see, he's got 1 life and there are no checkpoints. So dying sends him back to the start of the story.
Like, I'm sure you could do this pretty darn fast consistently if you practice it a lot, but up to this run, I've been practicing mainly for the main marathon run.
Yeah,
So
a lot of the sections of this level are mostly about working out what path to take, but it's still all really challenging. Like these sections, unless you come in with extra clouds like Yoshifan did, your options are basically platforms that move anytime you spin, platforms that disappear once you step on them, and then you have the laser rings firing at you as well as the cannon guys shooting at you. So that whole section's a mess.
You can do that.
This is probably the hardest section for me when I tried to do this. This is insane. This is absolutely insane.
I don't care.
think this is the hardest section.
So this definitely with the 1 health restraint, this is probably where that comes in the most. Anywhere else, you're pretty likely to die just from getting hit anyways, from falling off. This is probably the only place where you really get punished for only having 1 health.
Wait, one
Oh, man.
That was literally the most basic mistake I can make. Okay.
So it's really hard to account for all of those different Hammer Brothers and Boomerang Brothers. He only has to kill the 3 Boomerang Brothers at the end in order to get out of that galaxy.
Yeah, unfortunately though, the Hammer Brothers, if you leave all of them there, can definitely really cause problems.
Yeah.
Hammer Brothers can knife you from pretty far away. I've almost gotten hit. If you remember the damage boost he did in the last Bowser level, I've almost gotten hit like partway down that damage boost by a stray hammer that one of them decided to throw.
Ugh. The final, I remember I couldn't beat this with Mario. I had to do it with Luigi because it just made a lot of the last section much easier, I felt. Just with some of the longer long jumps you could utilize there.
Yeah. So the biggest thing he's doing in this section is just making sure he gets from one cloud power up to the next. For the most part, other than trying to have as many clouds as possible going into the launch star. If you take this slow and compose, there's not too much that can go wrong.
Yeah.
With a perfect long jump there, he can take 3 clouds with him to this next section, but it doesn't save much time having the 3rd cloud over the 2nd cloud. Sure, yeah. Shoutouts to Mano Cheese randomly having the record for this.
Good name.
Good name.
Sometimes that guy doesn't fire for whatever reason. That thing doesn't do anything. The fireball does do something. For whatever reason, those laser guys stop firing once you're past them. It's possible to exploit that. But again, there are probably better strategies than the one I'm using.
I want to clap again.
I'm going to keep clapping.
Oh.
And the bonus landing.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby! Every time when he hits the star.
Fun fact, there's a 1-up here.
Thank you, I really Time.
I actually died on that planet the first time because I thought I could go to the bottom of it, so I just
Shoutouts to Miles.
Yeah, you can.
Hey, new clear time.
Oh,
No,
that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, once again, shoutouts to Yoshifan.
Nice job, Yoshifan.
Much congrats to Yoshifan on that awesome run. Setting up for Paper Mario next, run by Anatomy Z.
most things.